And you know me, I'm playing Quinzip, the flight surgeon for the team, so I'm pilot and keep everybody healthy.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm a pilot as well. It's been a minute.
Pretty much everyone in the squadron can fly.
Yes.
Pretty much, to some extent.
With one notable exception.
Yeah, pretty much.
With the exception of the guy who gets shot often.
But
he's
hey,
our ground leader, so
He
He knows how to take a bullet.
Somebody has to.
basically, when they don't have their ships to protect them, they have me to take the shots.
I keep patching them up and kicking them out there.
Here, have a stim pack. Now get back in front.
You're doing good, kid. Keep going.
keep shooting and keep taking shots, kid. I'll patch you up.
You got this.
That's what happens when you get all that old tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I love my Clone Wars stuff. So many cool things.
So we're
Speaking of which, I should probably be looking at my Roll20 character sheet.
Yeah.
I've not done that in quite some time.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely take a time to update your sheets, spend any experience that you want to spend, you know.
Because I
I'm
have
always-
everything. I track everything in the Ogdude's character generator,
same here.
so I'm not entirely sure what all is going on the other side.
And
So,
this
yeah,
will
so
give
you-
me...
I've got Legion
Sorry, go ahead.
experience.
Yeah, so you've joined Thunder Squadron, which is a Y-wing squadron. We also have acquired additional assets. I forget the first aircraft, what it was.
But you didn't quite say that properly. We acquired.
You got to make sure the air quotes can be heard.
Right. And then we
Heard him that time.
requisitioned the YV-929. So we do some non-Y-wing operations as well.
Wait, we finally got the YV-929?
Yeah.
Yay! I love that ship. I have literally wanted that ship since I started playing this game. Such a good ship.
So once in a while we get into the big ship, but typically we're doing a lot of Y-wing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I got here's armor, cybernetics, tools.
And we
Well,
have
I'm an X-wing pilot actually, so I'll be the odd man out, I guess.
nice.
You're going to be that guy. And I see you put
that guy.
your X-Wing stats in there, which is good because your token automatically populated them.
Oh no.
Yo, he actually brought an X-wing to the group too.
He's bringing an
Yep.
X-Wing to the group.
Oh, it's so sick. That's so cool.
So, of
Oh.
I
course,
didn't realize I'd have that reaction.
does everyone need a minute to get beverages and that good stuff?
And spend experience points.
Okay. So
I already
I will
did that one.
I will take a brief moment to get myself beverage and to go bring the dog in before we have barking, Bothan in space.
There you go.
Many Bothans were lost in this mission.
Yes. Oh, and we also have Sparky, our other Imperial R2 unit.
Until he gets shot again, yeah. There's some war stories there.
Yeah, he's got some personality issues.
We all love him, though.
We blew up a big Imperial ship, and he was floating debris that I found, and I had to stun him to subdue him and bring him back, and then educate him.
Re-educate. Is that what the rebels call it these days?
Yeah.
I mean, the Imperials call it re-education, but Okay, so I'm going to step away for a moment. Talks amongst yourselves on spending your experience points, because that's important.
Yes, indeed.
I put it down into something. I don't remember what it was because it was ages ago and I just updated it in Nog Dudes. I do have 5 XP left over, but can't really get me much right now.
Yeah, I had to search and I realized that I hadn't spent mine, so what I had, so.
I'm just updating all of my equipment that I have gathered and lost over the past several sessions, which I never put into Roll20. So I am now updating that since it has been a minute. Also, remind me, did we ever get my rotary blaster fully fixed up, or did it still have a minor damage on it?
I remember just having the minor damage on it.
Okay. Because I know that we had gotten it fixed up to some degree, but I think it still had a little bit of damage, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we got to that point. I'm sure we could probably make that happen before, though I don't know exactly where we are, if we're still in, I can't remember, did we finish that ground assault?
Yeah, we finished the ground assault, and then we had to completely change bases because of the traitor.
Right. So,
Tim,
I'm sure
you
we
guys,
have time to repair your stuff.
You guys did a ground assault without me?
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh, that was aerial assault. We were providing aerial support for our ground force.
Oh, no, I was there for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last thing we did.
Oh, really? I thought it
Yeah.
was the session.
Well, maybe before that, but that was the last.
Ah, I see.
Was the ground.
Sweet. I got that in. Okay, armor piercing grenade is in. Stun grenade is in. EMP grenade is not in yet. Please ignore me and all of my bombs.
All of your bombs?
They'll be
I can't just ignore some of them.
no. Please ignore all of them. They'll appear when we need them, probably. Sometimes when we don't need them. Sometimes when they cause lots of problems. But most of the time they're helpful.
Yeah, haven't had to repair him from his own blunders yet, so we're okay.
Not for a long time.
We did have to move the ship in a hurry once because of it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did start a very large fire directly underneath our vessel.
Oh. So I'm looking at the actual Roll20 page. Do we need to heal?
Probably.
Probably not. I think we probably already healed everything except our critical injuries, which I'm sure I'm probably the only one with.
Yeah, no, I mean like just in general, because I have an 8 out of 11.
Usually we heal that all
That's
between
strange.
sessions, so
Okay.
you're probably all right.
Yeah, as long as we're actually between the landing or the land assault, which I think we are, then yeah, we should be able to heal up the strain. But we'll double check. I didn't touch mine yet.
I haven't either.
Oh, I can probably just copy paste this, honestly. Z6 rotary blaster. Nope, I cannot.
Boo.
Maybe. That's what I wanted to do.
Alright, let me see. Where's Sparky at? Is he...
Qualities. Stun setting. Blast 4, limited ammo 1, Pierce 3, Blast 6, Disorient 3, Ion, limited ammo 1. Oh no, I already had one of those. Okay, so I can delete this. Where is this? How do I delete?
Adding it is easy. Taking it away is hard.
I added a redundant grenade stat block. I already had that grenade.
Are we healed up, strain and all that?
Yep, this is going to be
Yep.
far enough since the last time you guys have recovered. If you have a critical, your lowest critical has been healed. If you have any, which I don't think our doctors let that happen for a while.
I
Right.
probably do. I usually have one just lingering.
But he does have a weapon damage, I think, that
Critical
still need to be for
Yeah,
sure.
I have two. I have two.
Do you really?
Yes.
Well, the
They're
lowest
actu-
goes away.
All right. The other one's only a difficult. They're both only difficulty 1 though. So
So you can heal one and always ask our doctor to patch the other one up, or at least to try.
hey Quinn, my buddy, my pal, my dude.
Yeah. Let's make a medicine check.
Because
Now
you
when
trust
you're ready.
Quinn way better than your doctor. So is it going to be, what is it, a 1 purple or 2 purple?
It's 1 purple.
One
his-
purple. And you
I
know,
am his doctor. I'm the squadron doctor.
before you heal that, you guys might want to roll force dice.
Sure. Not that
Oh yeah.
not that I feel I need it, but sure.
Pendulum.
Oh god.
Dang it.
Nice.
Ooh! So much darkness in the galaxy right now.
Wow.
Well, considering. Oh, nice. The new guy.
New
Well-
guy. Come on through.
So we're gonna ignore that second one he rolled, which was with the 1. Look at that. Look at Oni trying to double dip on there.
Oh,
Right?
I double-clicked,
Dang
didn't I?
First he's like, too dark, but maybe a light.
Oh, dark side. Wow. That's a great start.
Nice. This is gonna be a fun session.
All right. Is he set up? Because obviously it wouldn't matter because there is no light side to flip.
Yep. So
But
and
somebody's
here I
gonna
was
flip.
was
That's
gonna
why-
joke that maybe I want to flip one, but apparently since
Yeah.
you maxed out 6 dark side points, I kind of got to give you something. So
right.
your dice pool is ready to heal up his crit. And in the Facebook chat, I did shoot you guys some more flight cheat sheets for spending advantage and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that might take care of that 1 crit.
Just might take care of it.
And got rid of whatever rough edges
Jesus,
from
Quinn,
the
you're
healing
so-
of the other one.
You're so good at this. 4 of 4. That's all loaded up. None. Do not, unfortunately, have hard points on my grenades.
Those would be the most expensive grenades out there. I
They'd be fun.
put a scope on my grenade before I throw it.
Laser sighting grenades.
No, you got to put a silencer on the grenade, you know?
Well, yeah, there you go.
Grenades are so noisy. You got to fix that.
Yeah. Anybody else? Nobody else got crits now?
Mm-mm.
I
If
am
Rigger had
crit-free.
crits,
So,
you'd need help.
right?
As
So,
we're totally gonna move
oh.
Sobek down because Sobek is now MIA.
yeah. Double check your ships. I thought I had a crit on my ship, but I guess I don't.
If you have any crits on your ship, the lowest one also has been taken care of by your pit crew.
Yeah, I don't have a crit, so I'm good.
And don't forget to up your armaments back to full if they were missing anything.
Because we've got stockpiles of torpedoes.
Yep.
Got to do everything yourself.
You make it
Can somebody with a book tell me what rank bypass security is?
for which one of your trees?
Slicer.
Slicer?
I think that's the only one I have it on.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have that too.
Oh,
What the hell did I do?
That makes me worry when you're saying it like that.
yeah.
Well, no, my other gear list, I was checking it, and then all of a sudden I clicked something and the list went away. It says other gear, but I can't get the drop down to.
Okay,
hell?
for Slicer, you have bypass at.
Up there.
You have bypass multiple times on your tree.
Okay, it's the one next to Toughened. Oh, sorry, it's on the Sleeper Agent tree.
That
My
that
fault.
would be different. Okay. Let me pull up the sleeper agent.
Oh, wait, no, the Slicer on bypass security should be
Wait,
5,
no,
right?
it's this one.
I think the bypass security on Slicer is only 5.
Well, the thing is, on the slicer, you have bypass security at the 5, the 10, and the 15 level.
Oh, okay. I'll take the 5 version.
Are we talking on the spy slicer tree?
Yes.
Let me share that with you in the group chat so you can see the actual tree itself. Because it has bypass security on many places. So you might want to check to see what other talents you have to see which direction you took it. You probably took it on the 5, but it's all over your career tree. Because it's
Okay.
meant to stack up to become super, super slicery.
I was gonna say it's kind of like they're meant to be bypassing security or something.
Yep.
Um,
And you want to make sure to look at the picture for the
Oh,
spy
okay, I've
one, not the
actually-
technician.
you've already sent it to me.
Yep. Yep, as I was saying it, I was already sending it to you.
No, I meant you sent it to me previously.
He just
Oh,
found it.
and it actually has the cost. I was stupid. I should have looked. Sorry.
When you know
worries.
it's written down.
So, of course, you guys have had time to recover. Is there any vehicles that have crits that you're wanting to ask Rigger to see if she can get rid of the crits on the vehicles?
Mine's good.
Quick question. When was last time our contribution rank went up?
Last time is when you cashed in on it, which is where you got the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so should my my duty should be at 0 then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless there was a couple
Well,
points
did we
left for people,
Did
but
we use his?
Uh,
Because we didn't use mine.
We threw some random extra numbers in because a bunch of you guys hadn't been putting any duty in the list. So
Okay.
if it's 0, we'll just work with it. Yes, you were one of the ones who contributed to getting the ship that you exactly wanted, so it totally makes sense that you contributed.
right?
Okay. Cool. Alrighty.
And at the very least, that sounds completely plausible and like it should work.
Right.
Okay. If I go to calculate. 4 plus 825. Okay, so 1,569.
So actually, we have a spare Y-wing now, huh?
Yeah.
No,
No.
remember, he took
he
it.
took it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he-
he got sucked
He,
in with.
he
with
fled
Tyson.
with it, and then he got tractor beamed away.
Oh, bastard.
And that was the Clone Wars one too.
Yep. The one that had those soft,
My
soft
bubble turret.
edges,
My bubble turret. I'm so sad.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Just be
traders,
glad
your
you didn't-
record hurts,
Just be glad you didn't leave any important things on board it.
right?
Except that I did. My flight suit was in
Oh.
there.
Oh no.
These things happen. You trust your flight commander to be your flight commander, then you think the astromech is the traitor, then you find out it's the flight commander who's the traitor, but it's only because he was doing it to save his family that were at an Imperial detention center.
You know, he could have left the flight suit.
You never know. He might have somewhere in a
Yeah.
box.
He could have just sat it down at base with a little letter that said, "Sorry, guys, had to save my parents." You know,
Yeah.
he could have had the courtesy.
That would have been too easy.
All of a sudden, one day you're cleaning out Rigger, and you find out one of her cargo components have that flight suit folded nicely and packed away.
We all cry
I don't know
about
how I
Sobek.
feel about that, but okay.
Ah,
So everybody checked your vehicles, checked your characters, gotten you all up to
Yep.
date.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think so.
Are all you pilots 5x5 for your mission briefing?
Sure.
Give me a second.
I'm honestly not sure. I can't remember what my sheet looked like before.
Well, just look on your ship and check the crit tab on your critical on your ship, and on your character, click the critical tab on your character, and make sure those are all blank.
Yeah, it's all blank for sure.
Okay.
And make sure to fill up your wounds and your strain up to max.
who was I flying with now?
You were in there with Quinn last time I heard.
I did
Yeah,
get a
you-
crit. What?
You have a crit?
Apparently, it says I'm compromised.
That's a
Yeah.
crit.
Okay.
It's,
How do I
it's,
fix that?
it's almost like that's why the game master said check your character one more time real quick just in case.
I mean, I can try, but I mean, you know,
Uh,
not much on the mechanical side.
can Sparky
Well-
help me?
Jim said that we could heal our lowest crit automatically.
Yep.
Oh, that's
So
true.
if you only have one crit, thankfully the technicians, when they gave you a once over, patched that compromisedness up on you.
All right. How do I fix it so it's gone?
So there should be a
Heal.
a button that says heal,
Heal.
and you
Gone.
just click
We're
on
good.
that, and it disappears.
Yeah, it's gone. Ha.
Because the reason why that's important is criticals affect your character's rolls, so any crit that has negatives will automatically be in your rolls. So it's good to make sure that those are healed or recovered if need be.
All right. Cool.
Increases the crits too,
Yep,
if you get another one.
yep, it adds
So-
plus 10 to the next crit.
That's not nice.
Nope.
Yep. So yeah, I guess you're with me, and Sparky's in the socket now. And has less well, he's always been in the socket, but less duties now. He won't
Sparky,
be. He won't be happy not having the gun.
he won't be on his
Yeah.
little homicidal moments or all of a sudden blowing a servo from getting excited at shooting.
Yeah.
You know, literally he scores some cool shots and then he just overheats and just blows the circuit breaker.
Yeah.
He
Hence
just gets a little too excited.
Henceforth the Sparky. I mean, you did shoot a droid with an ion turret on a vehicle. I mean, he's gonna have issues.
Yeah, we had to subdue him.
He kept saying no to being kidnapped. I mean, come on.
Rescued.
Forcefully
Rescued.
rescued.
It was the droid
You are
equivalent.
being rescued. Please do not resist.
It's the droid equivalent of not without permission.
No.
Okay, so of course, you know, y'all get called in to Pappy. Currently, your command ship is floating around in the outer reaches right now because you have no home since you lost the codename Mudball. I mean, it really was just a clay-covered planet of gray mud. But still, after Sobek's betrayal, you know, just to be safe, you guys fled the planet just in case. Even though the probes that you left behind have not signaled a single Imperial response yet. Which does kind of make, you know, your military intelligence officer on your ship happy that Sobek may have not compromised the planet, or they just haven't attacked yet. I mean, did you guys share the message that Rigger had on her, it from Sobek?
It will be fine in this case. And yeah, we did that. You
Pappy.
made me read out something.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was his last will and testament to his crewmates. He actually felt bad.
Yeah.
Shared it with Pappy, not everybody.
You see, he's definitely gonna sell us out. He's just stalling time so that we can get away, so he can get the benefits without hurting any of us. That's definitely it.
Yeah. Get it.
Ooh, look at the Mandalorian saying, "Yeah, he sold us out." Period.
His feelings were hurt. Makes sense.
My pilot betrayed me, and he took my flight suit.
That was vintage.
Every time it comes up, it always ends with, "And he stole my flight suit, my vintage flight suit."
And ship.
It still had Clone Trooper sweat inside it when I bought it.
Yuck.
Stolen.
Yes, when
Oh,
you
sorry,
bought it, it was like a steal.
Acquired.
Like it's
Such a nicer word.
I mean, after all, you're rebels. You're supposed to acquire things.
Right.
Okay, so of course,
My duty, resource acquisition.
That's my duty.
Nice.
so of course, Pappy calls you guys into the briefing room, and you all come piling in like good troopers, right?
Oh yeah.
You've all
I'm
been,
late.
you've all been patched
Sir,
up.
yes, sir.
oh damn. Okay.
And Pappy gives you like a 2-arm salute. It's funny because he does a salute with each arm on each side, so it's ridiculous. And he knows it's ridiculous because he doesn't believe in that formality shit. But
Sorry
it's
I'm late,
cute
boss.
when he does it. Well, Evan, your character actually is not here yet.
Oh, not there yet. Okay, cool.
Not there yet. And he, as Pappy, he's this big 4-arm basilisk with 2 prosthetic arms, 2 cybernetic arms. As he pulls you guys down and shows you a hollow vid of this gray, mucky looking planet. It kind of reminds you of Mudball if it wasn't for the fact that there seems to be like clouds of toxicity and stuff in the atmosphere. And he says, "Listen here, Thunder Squadron. Rebel intelligence has given us an Easter egg. I've got a new recruit for you. All you have to do is go down to this planet, this miserable Imperial base of manufacturing called Iradu." And he looks at the data pad and kind of turns it sideways and goes, Iradu. And he looks at his attaché and she kind of nods at him like, yes. And he's like, "What kind of Imperial planet is this?" "Well, intelligence has told us that this is a center of Imperial manufacture. In the Outer Rims, it's one of the few Imperial bases that regularly manufactures TIE fighters as well as," and he kind of pops a hollow vid. And you've seen TIE interceptors already, the ones with the pointed wings, the ones that originally only Vader got to fly, and And he says, apparently, according to Rebel intelligence, we've been told that they're manufacturing the TIE interceptors on this planet now as well. Ever since some incident on a planet called, and he kind of looks squints at the data pad, Lothar, that interrupted with the manufacture of the TIE interceptors. Well, we have an Imperial agent that we need to pick up. Unfortunately, he's stuck right in the middle of a basilisk's nest of Imperials. And he kind of like pops up this hollow vid of the solar system of the planet, and he says, "Your mission is to make your plans." And he kind of like looks over at Rigger because he knows that Sobek used to help you do this, and he has this like moment of silence. "Plan your hyperspace jump," and he gives you this very big, vague area near the planet. "Opposite of the moon," and he kind of clicks the hollow vid, and the vid focuses on the planet, the location, and the moon. And the reason why is because the moon is an Imperial battle station, and it shows that half the moon has been completely industrialized with a military base. So you don't want to get near this moon at all. Stay away from the moon. While avoiding numerous TIE interceptor patrols, and he like clicks a button, and apparently some intelligence that's been provided already by this pilot, you see that the planet is just like circled with dozens of squads of TIE interceptors doing patrols, mainly because they're training these pilots by giving them patrol duty.
Huh.
And of course, he pops up with a little dossier button on the holovid, and it shows like these 8 different Imperial field commanders that are training pilots on the use of the new improved the TIE Interceptor. And, it gives this hit list of different flight commanders that if you kill them, it'd be really cool for the rebellion. Just saying. So your job is to hop into as close to the planet as you can. Signal us on channel frequency HC745. We'll pop ourselves at the edge of the system, and it shows a little simulation of the ship popping, and release this old separatist distress signal to get the Imperials' attention. And he basically shows over on a screen, and there's this big, long distress message that will basically be on open frequencies. The reason for that is this is the signal for the Republic agent to leave the planet. Now, our intelligence tells us that he most likely will be flying in a ship minus an astromech, but he was told to make sure he had a hyperspace-capable vessel. So what that's going to require, and he looks right at Rigger, gives him the squinty eye, like, Rigger, you're supposed to, like, chime in and make a noise of recognition. You need to make sure to provide him coordinates to our beta site. And, of course, he clicks the little holovid, and you see, like, 5 systems over. There's the alpha site where you're going to be connecting up with the ship, and the beta site where you guys are going to retreat to. So first you retreat to beta, and then you get back with the command cruiser at alpha. That way, in case you're followed, you're not followed right to the right spot. And that's exactly what the astromech sounds like. Oh.
Excuse me, Pappy.
Oh.
Pappy? Was that Lothar or Lothal?
Lothar. And he kind of squints at you like, have you ever been there? I heard it's nothing but loth cats and grass for as far as you can see.
No, that's why I was asking. I mean, I've heard of the Lothal sector.
I've heard if you're ever looking for loth melons, it's the perfect place to find them. Who names a melon after your planet? That's just egotistical. As, of course, his attaché touches her little pad, and on the screen behind pops up this loth cat meme where it just goes, meow. Don't tell me there wouldn't be loth cat memes in Star Wars. I'm just saying. If there's not, we should start them ourselves.
All right, so question, Pappy. What's our mission in terms of extracting this guy? What do we need to do to get him out?
Well, hopefully, and he pulls up the vid of when their ship's going to go there, and there's little pingy circles coming off as it simulates the distress signal. Any patrol craft should respond to our distress signal, so the only thing that you should have to deal with are the routine patrols around the planet. So possibly mixing up with some TIE fighters to make an opening so he can escape the atmosphere and join you outside the gravity well. And of course, it shows this little animation of you guys all dropping your ships, blowing up a couple TIE fighters, and then an X-Wing flying between you guys in this beautiful CGI simulation. And then the 2 ships bank behind him, and all of a sudden we see little transmission come off Rigger's Y-Wing, and you get a thumbs up symbol from the X-Wing, and the 3 ships jump to hyperspace.
Man, the Rebellion really needs to start putting more money into buying proton torpedoes and less money into the production value of their mission simulations.
Right.
And he just gives you the stink eye. I think you Lieutenant Ferris here did a wonderful job in this display. I used to use a stick in the dirt for my troops back in the day, young whippersnapper.
And they liked it.
And I made my troops have to sharpen the stick.
Alrighty, but he's going to be in his own ship. We don't have to land and extract him or anything like that.
That's a negative. He has his own craft that he is expert at piloting according, and he like pops up this dossier, and you get a picture of this Deveronian-looking character. You know, very vague. Lots of details have been redacted on what pops up on the screen. Seems like he should be adequate at the. And he kind of looks at the attaché, and she kind of nods to agree that he should be adequate to fly himself off the planet. But you never know what happens once the mission starts.
All right.
Alrighty. Well,
And he basically looks and says, and his code name for this mission is Oni D. Regardless, he should be, contacting you immediately upon, receiving the signal and seeing the all clear from your units. He will have your private channels to contact you on. The call sign will be Open Skies Ahead.
Deveronian, those are the guys with the horns, right?
Yep, the horns and the sharp teeth.
Devil-looking dudes.
Now I understand Oni.
Unless, of course, they shave them down, because some people do the Hellboy thing where they shave their horns down. Others consider it bad form to ever have their horn broken. Odd cultural differences.
alrighty. I think we should get moving then.
Yeah.
And of course, Pappy gives you guys each the frequency for once you get in position to send the Pappy's crew the message so they can, jump in on a hyperspace at the edge and basically blast the rescue signal.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's mount up, I guess.
Okay, so then you get the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. As you guys are all jumping to action, getting your suits on, running off to your ships.
Am I flying myself or am I with Rigger?
You should still be with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, of course, the question is, what... Oh, yep. As that's the classic picture of the Deveronian from the Cantina scene. With the super shifty eyes.
Yeah, there was nicer looking ones, but that one's more fun.
The super creepy guy that you wouldn't want near a kid's school.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the cool ones from Rebels. So you guys are all getting into your ships and deciding what the seating arrangement is. So what is going to be the seating arrangement? Just to make sure we have it clear.
Yeah, it's me and
I got Quinn's back.
Dennis, and then Sparky, and then the two of them and the other one.
Okay, so just like it is in the picture there with Rigger and Kay and
up top. Yep, minus the middle ship there.
Yep. Okay, so you guys head on out. So who's going to do the astrogation? You're given the coordinates, but you can always try to see if you can do better than Republic intelligence can give you. You can always try to do better than what they give you.
Gee, I wonder if you might do an astrogation check.
I wonder. Sorry. Also, quick question. Who are we following orders on in the sky?
Ooh, so Rigger asked that question?
Yeah.
And
so that I don't ask the wrong person?
Well, me, obviously, right? I'm the commander?
As Pappy kind of looks at the four of you guys and then looks over at his attaché and she kind of gives this shrug look and he puts his finger to his lips and he's like, I think, let's see, today's a day that starts with Q, so we'll pick Quinn as your wing commander right now.
Okay.
You seem to be pretty competent and, you returned so far. You don't have any, and he kind of squints, family and imperial detention, do you?
Yeah, no. No.
As he basically kind of tries to make that into a very, very, very sarcastic joke, but you see the pain in his eyes. There's pain. There's pain.
All right, so I'll make an astrogation.
What's your numbers?
My numbers?
Yeah, your dice pool for astrogation?
Oh, I have 3 yellow and 1 green.
Okay. Any setbacks?
I don't know.
I got
I've never done any. Yeah, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be against 3 purple, and you do have a blue dice because Imperial Republic Intelligence has provided good information. Almost like this mysterious guy basically sent good intel while he was stuck on the planet watching these Imperial TIE interceptors being manufactured.
All right. So
So I can assist for another blue. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I got 1 yellow, 3 green with -2 black.
So Quinn is sitting over poor Rigger's shoulder, which is really her
Please.
dome, watching her do the math.
So I'm good to roll.
Yep, you're good
Okay.
to roll. And you're just like, yeah, looks like they picked the safest place to have us pop out of hyperspace.
All right then.
You're
Wow.
just like, I concur. This is the safest place.
But she does got advantage.
Anything particular you'd like to do with a bunch of advantage?
I am looking. Oh, can it be that we happen to be in the? You were talking about there was a planetary patrol or something like that, or was it ground patrol?
You're going to be in orbit, so these are ships that
Orbit.
are flying in orbit around the planet.
Can I have it so that we just happen to be in a blind spot or like in a good place where they're not gonna know we showed up?
Hopefully, okay.
Like, can I do that? Can that be a thing, please?
So, are you wanting it that now? When you say blind spot, are you saying that a place where you can stop and shoot the signal without getting attacked, or are
Yeah.
you saying like no patrols close for danger?
Ah, crap. I think I meant both. But
Well, which one of those 2 options do you like?
I like the one where the first one more.
Okay. So basically, when you jump out, you'll have total freedom of action, and you'll be able to signal the cruiser to come out and do its job just like the plan goes, and nobody will immediately be shooting at you.
Yes.
I mean, sadly, from the vids that you're seeing, this planet is covered with patrols. There's a reason why the X-Wing pilot's not just wanting to take off, because
Yeah.
there's so many patrols, you're gonna trip over one of them. Why?
Okay.
Because the Imperials have hundreds of pilots that they're teaching these new fighters to, so
You
they're
got this.
just
They're a
that
bunch of
busy.
rookies.
Before we go,
Oh,
can I check on the Ashan Vengeance and see if I can get, like today's codes?
Now, what do you mean by today's codes?
The codes that we'd need for them not to shoot us.
Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to get this planet's codes because their Moff is a jerk.
Okay.
Yeah, this Moff on the planet, he is in charge of this planet and the academy that's there. He doesn't share codes.
Okay.
Bastard.
Why? Because when
I
you're
was just thinking, since I've got it, I might as well see if I could use it.
I mean, you can totally try to use it, but it's nothing you get is going to help on this planet because
Right. Okay, no problem.
because the
Like I
Moff
said.
here wants to keep his top secret TIE interceptor facility safe.
Okay, no problem.
Or he's not wanting any other Imperial officers to fuck with his operation and get him fired so they can have his job.
Hmm.
Could be one of those paranoid situations too, because Empire.
Cool.
Just when you think things are fine, Empire. What do you mean the 5 people underneath me in position want my job too? Preposterous.
See how they are.
Okay, so any other last minute things?
I think we're good.
Okay, so everybody jumping in, suiting up, getting ready to go.
Yeah.
But not in my flight suit.
Oh,
We'll get you a different one at one point.
as you know, Rigger's totally going to get you an Imperial black flight suit.
Apparently, I have access to it, so whatever.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Bitter.
Okay, so you guys have your coordinates. You know, Rigger agrees that Imperial Republic intelligence gave you the best information. Totally the best. As you guys get in your ships, you guys click the little button for hyperspace. You take off into the blurring stars that is hyperspace.
Yep.
Yep.
As I change my map and should slowly drag you guys along with me. So you guys pretty much pop out of hyperspace, and I'm totally going to turn your ships towards the planet because I just like that it looks better that way.
Ooh.
And you guys are in a nice, safe spot. You do see, by the way, there are 4 TIE fighters that don't seem to have any inkling that you're there. They are completely flying just by visual. They must not be using their sensors very well right now because they're just test piloting. They have no idea that you guys just popped out of hyperspace. Does somebody want to signal Pappy to send the signal?
I will.
I was gonna say.
Okay, so you send a tight beam transmission that's super encrypted and really, really not meant to be, intercepted, which totally goes like clockwork. You get the counter signal because about a good 10 seconds later at the edge of the system, because of course you don't really have your sensors on because you'd be spotted if you did, crack pops your command, ship. It blasts an old separatist warning of Republic attack, as well as they're requesting immediately rescue and response by also any separatist forces in the system on open channels.
Whoa.
I mean, and you're immediately sensing major system pings happening all across the sectors. People are flying, stations, probes, everything are turning their computers on to scan what the fuck just sent that signal out. And you know that you've got plenty of chaos and cover as on one of your passive sensors, you sense that a ship popped out of the atmosphere, out of the edge of the gravity well of the planet, and just went to the outer rim to check out whatever's at the edge of the system and sending that signal. And it took quite a few fighters with it. As you guys see, it's totally a race against time. Here at the bottom of the map is Oni's little X-Wing.
Oh, that's me.
And then over here at the top right-hand side of the map is your guys' 2 nice, safe spots where you popped out. So you totally wish to have a success so you could have picked on the map where you popped out.
Would have been nice, but that's all right.
Republic Intelligence wanted you to pick a nice, safe place. It's no fun when your fighters get destroyed because, you're a jackass and you popped out at the edge right into the gravity well.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to pop out and pop back into Roll20.
Okay.
What are we at? Oh yeah, we're now on 3 now. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh. Man, only 2 ships. What the heck?
Well, remember, you're only really here to escort the guy home. I mean, you're
I
not
know.
meant to be in a stand-up slug fight.
Well, that's not the intent, but never know what happens.
Okay, so you guys have that sense that things are cool, but things are about to start happening.
Is that dotted line the place that's safe to jump from?
Yeah, everything basically north of the dotted line is safe to jump to hyperspace from. Anything
Right,
closer,
okay.
you're in the gravity well.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking, if the dotted line was the gravity well.
Yep, that's exactly right. This little X-Wing needs to get past that gravity well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everybody go ahead and roll your vigilance, I'm thinking, at this point. Unless you have a cool plan and you want to throw it out there.
Oh, look. Okay.
Let's see. So right now we're only seeing that one patrol.
You see that one patrol, by the way, that's 4 TIE Fighter interceptors.
No, piece of cake. Okay.
Piece of cake as they start turning and shooting quad cannons at you.
They're rookies.
Even rookies can get a lucky shot in.
So,
So what are these
I'm
other
rolling,
boxes?
I'm
Sorry.
rolling as well. James, vigilance, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Good thing your commander's in.
Why did I have?
Ready?
Why did I have all of those dice on mine?
Because you should have rolled vigilance on initiative,
Not
not
the skill.
vigilance on the skill.
Oh, right.
Remember,
Okay,
it's on
sorry.
the combat tab. Yep.
I forgot that.
Under initiative.
You're fine, aren't you, Kay? No.
See now.
No, I've got like 3 extra purple.
Well, that's what. If you see purple, that means you rolled the skill
Oh.
and not the initiative. Because I had 3
Yep,
purple
yep.
in the dice pool.
Alright, I got better.
What are the boxes?
What about the boxes?
So,
Okay.
I will gladly
As far
tell you
as-
the boxes are from left to right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's so
Thank
if
you.
something bad happens, I can roll a dice to see where reinforcements will pop in.
Okay.
See, this way, if reinforcements pop in, y'all know where the options may be.
So
And
they're beacons for
Rein-
them to pop to.
yep, it's almost like Empire would have this set in the system.
Mm.
Okay, so who's going first?
I have a
I'm-
question. As far as starship movement and speed, what's the relationship there? Like, how many do we get to move?
So if your ship, and now we'll say that you've been flying around low to the ground. So what speed are you flying at?
Well, I've been. Whatever, like, cruising speed would be, not, probably pretty fast because I'm a bit of a hot shot. I'd say, heck, why not? I'm at full speed. I'm at a 5.
Okay, so you're cranking at full speed right now. So that's basically gonna take you at full speed 5. Wow, that's pretty good because you are
X-Wing's 5?
X-wing
Yeah.
is 5. They are the F-16s of the military there. They're meant to keep up with those TIE fighters. So basically, you're gonna move 5 squares at full speed plus the usual 4 for short distance.
So 9 total then?
Yep, you move
Oh,
fast.
nice.
Of course, remember, if you try decreasing your speed, you're going to start straining your ship out, and your ship doesn't have that much strain.
True.
Slamming on the
Just
brakes
gotta
is
keep
hard.
going fast.
Gotta do it slowly. Alright. So let's see. So we already radioed Pappy or no?
Yeah, somebody already sent the message. That's what initiated the whole roll for initiative part. So, Pappy sent the signal. So Oni does have the signal.
Okay. So you wanna so that also went to Oni. Okay. That's
Yep.
what I was gonna say, if we had to send a separate signal for that.
Nope, they don't want to give away your guys' location, so they figured this
Right.
mass transmission would be super easy for Oni to realize. When I send the call, my people are waiting for you.
Okay.
And you're exactly where he knows you to be because you went to the exact spot that Republic Intelligence gave you.
Yeah. That's never good, going right where they tell you to go, but alright.
That's the best tactic.
Yeah. Alright, well then we'll start moving down towards the planet then.
And remember, y'all are starting at 0 speed.
Yeah. So I'm accelerating to 1,
Okay.
which is how far? That's just 1. I forget. It's been a while.
Yep.
Okay. Boom.
Are we allowed to do diagonals? Is that cool?
Yeah, you can go any direction you want.
Awesome.
Because space is apparently a 2-dimensional space that you can flip around without it counting against you.
Awesome.
Yep.
It's
All right,
really
so
not,
yeah.
but I just like mocking it that way.
So, accelerating to 1.
Okay, and that's
And-
just the action is the maneuver is the accelerate, right?
Yep. Yep.
Anything for your action? I mean, you totally know you want to get on computers and do a sensor sweep, right?
Maybe, or I could have. Well, I probably have better computers than he does. Let me double check.
No, you don't.
Oh no, I'm talking between me or Sparky.
Sparky.
Oh, okay.
I'm trusting you with computers. You're good.
Because, of course, Kay's referring to, no, he's got the better computers than all of you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
his
I know
job.
that. No, Sparky's 2 yellow, 1 green versus my 4 green. So, so I will not scan, but
You'll totally order Sparky to do it?
yeah. Yeah, I'll have Sparky do it. Those 2 yellows are nice. So we'll let him make that happen.
Okay, so go ahead and roll his computers.
Alright.
As Sparky looks at you and just shakes his head, no, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, there's nothing for him to shoot. Wow. Yeah.
As he does this computer scan, and apparently there must be the Imperial blocking signals up, because I've heard that in Star Wars somewhere. As what's Sparky going to use that 1 advantage for, by the way?
He'll give a blue to the next person scanning or doing something.
Okay. So, who's taking the next slot?
I can to just move up 1. Whoop, nope. Sorry. Hold on.
Nobody's
Totally
going to,
remember how to
just
do that.
slam full throttle?
No, I don't want to do that. There. Just move up
Okay.
1.
So you're basically, you're plugged into your socket back there, and you're just like, bloop, bloop, and you're following your wingman there.
Yep.
What would you like to do for your action?
I don't know.
I mean, I will totally throw a suggestion out since it has been a while. You could totally do your astrogation check now to see what the coordinates would be, so that way you can just easily transmit them across to somebody.
Okay. Yep. I will do that. Thank
Okay.
you, voice in my head.
You clicked really fast there. Would you like giving me
Wow.
Yeah.
Try clicking again since I've put some purple dice in play.
Okay.
You were super fast. Kelly would be proud of you. Because she does the same thing.
Okay, going now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So immediately you're just like, boop, boop, boop. Here's the coordinates. And what would you like with that advantage?
To advantages for blue
Wait,
dice,
shouldn't
right?
you have gotten another blue?
Why should she have gotten another blue?
Because he gave her one.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that would sensor scanning really wouldn't have helped astrogation much.
Okay.
Okay. I can. It's another blue, right? The advantage, or is it something different?
Well, for the advantage, it's something to do with astrogation. So, do you want to, like, they give suggestions in the skill there? Do you want to reduce the travel time? Basically, you found a shortcut, or find convenient stopovers or someplace to stop and resupply.
Can she use the advantage to be able to jump closer to the gravity well?
Not just one advantage. That would
Okay.
be like some extra successes, because it's not like the last Star Wars movie where ships actually do that in atmosphere, because that would be absolutely atrocious and horrible.
Okay. No problem.
I definitely like the shortcut more because they won't find us as easily.
Okay.
So
You basically are using the gravity well of a star to kind of slingshot and make it even faster.
yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay. So immediately, Rigger, are you sharing that with Quinn, or are you saving those numbers?
I am sharing everything with Quinn.
Okay. Little tight band communication over to him. That's just site to site, so no one can intercept your coordinates.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, Quinn, you're going to be typing that into the hyperspace.
Oh yeah.
The hyperdrive ready and going.
Yeah.
And it's cute because it's really just Rigger and Sparky talking to each other, not too far apart.
Exactly.
They're using blinky lights to transmit the information in binary because it's quicker that way.
Damn droids. I mean,
I'm okay with it.
Okay, and just for convenience sake, I mean, it's going to be rather difficult, but let's get the difficulty set to hard there and a black because they're on maneuvers. They're not paying attention. They got one job, and that's not to crash.
like I said, rookies.
As these pilots are, wow, they don't even have perception as a skill, so yeah. So you guys see those 4 TIE interceptors? They're a good long distance off, I mean, and they don't seem to be reacting to you guys whatsoever. I mean, it was funny that my laptop just blipped low power at the exact second I rolled the dice. So now it's getting plugged in. But yeah, they're doing their. You can see they're doing they're doing the mock chase, and they seem to be completely entangled with their own procedures and tactics they're doing down over here. Whatever maneuver they're on, they're busy doing their own thing. They don't notice you guys. They're screaming pretty fast. They're moving in and out from each other. They're locking on each other like they're trying to kill each other, but it's all maneuvers.
Nice.
Okay, so who's going next?
I will.
Okay, so what is Kay doing?
Gonna scan.
Are you totally going to take that blue dice that Sparky had for his computer scan that failed horribly because
You betcha.
just kind of glitchy?
He's being troublesome.
He's just kind of glitchy. He's mad that you took him off the gun, So go ahead and make your computer check. There's lots of information. It's almost like information overload, but you are the man at the computer. Some jobs are meant for a man and not a droid. So on your scan, you know that a far distance off this direction, you may want to zoom out at the bottom of the map. So off this way at a far distance, we're talking edge of sensors, there's a squad of 5 TIE fighters doing maneuvers. Obviously it looks like one TIE fighter is attacking the other 4 and just doing simulation. There's a patrol doing a lazy circle further off this direction. There's these guys who obviously have their throttles up their ass and are chasing each other. And about the same distance at the bottom of the screen, you know that there's another squad of 5 doing routine patrol this direction. So there's a lot of TIE fighters out in the sky today, but none of them notice you.
Okay. Pop them on our tactical and send it over to Quinn.
Okay. So you basically give them the hot sheet of that. I'll mark some red circles here that you know that there's dangerous this direction, dangerous this direction, and dangerous this direction. But this one is way off. Okay. But then again, TIE interceptors do move fast.
Yep.
Okay, so who is going next?
I guess I'm the last one, huh?
Yep.
No, our Mandalorian hasn't gone yet either.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
who
but
are
you
we
can
missing?
take the
Oh.
slot though. I know what I want to do last.
all right. Well, so I'm in the atmosphere currently, right?
Yep.
So as I'm coming up, do I see these guys or which way they're headed or anything like that?
So far, if you're just taking off, you're not
Uh-huh.
actively using your sensors, so you don't get seen. So you don't know what's ahead of you in
Oh, right.
space. So it's kind of like when you see the Millennium Falcon take off of Tatooine. They're taking off for the deep blue to the black, but you don't know what's there until it pops up on top of you. You could pop
Okay.
up computers for your scanners as your action if you want.
No, I don't want to light myself up too soon. So I think what I'll do is I'll just as I'm starting to leave the atmosphere, I'll just try to do a visual and gauge it from there.
Ooh, for perception. Okay, so if you're moving at full speed, go 5 squares in any direction you want, including 3 forward and 2 backwards. Come on,
So-
it's got to simulate your dogfightiness.
Oh wait, it
5
wasn't-
in one spot.
Yep,
Earlier you said 4 plus 5, or is it just 5?
it's going to be just 5.
Oh, just 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, let's see. Basically, it's like I'll come out 2 to there, and then do a visual.
Okay, so that's a ways out there.
Just see what I see.
Okay, so give me a sec. And you don't have any optical enhancements or anything, right?
Nope. Just
Okay.
just eyeballing it.
Go ahead and take your perception shot. As your X-wing engines are just roaring.
Thought they were higher pitched normally, but hey.
Okay, so as you're coming up, your keen Deveronian pilot eyes that you're used to squinting to see, like when Luke squinted and saw that Star Destroyer in the atmosphere, above the atmosphere, you see a cluster of 4 TIE fighters ahead of you, and they're just doing like mock exercises with each other, kind of dipping and diving and targeting each other, but you're fairly perceptible yourself, but you see the outlines of these things. You know what it is because you've been spying on them. You can spot them a mile off, literally. But take a point of strain because you're squinting and straining your keen pilot eyes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the main thought was to try to determine which direction they were flying.
Yep, and you can clearly see they're heading this direction as my pointer's not working. This direction.
Okay, so then I will use the rest of my movement and kind of cut this way a little bit.
You're like, good, let danger happen that direction. I will go the safe way. Okay, and what?
Okay, and so that was my maneuver, right?
Well, and your action was the perception.
Well, the action
check.
was the perception. Okay,
Yeah.
well then that's that.
And you look back and you're like, I really wish I had an astromech.
Oh, where's
Okay.
my character sheet? Like my so, I can mark it here.
And you should the strain and wounds you see on your ship are your ship's, not your personal one, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was looking for the little person token.
I can
But
totally.
I just did that on my sheet.
I should totally move that over for you so you have access to it. Give me just a second. I can copy paste because we made him. We might as well use him.
Yep.
Or you can just do it on your character sheet.
I
usually
didn't
just do it
there. I just was looking for the token first.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I got you mixed up in the middle of them now.
So good.
I mean, I should secretly. I have hidden off the map your MIA member. I'll just move him off to the side and put him in his spot. Bip. There you go. Actually, I need... Oh no, you can see the little bips above the map. Perfect. Okay, back to where we were. So what's Ineos gonna do? What is our Mandalorian plotting?
I think the way to go is probably gonna be just do fire discipline. Because there's nothing really within range to shoot at yet, but maybe there could be soon. So I'm just gonna look around and point out all potential threats coming in. Be all like, all right, check there, check there, check there.
Corners and doors, man. Corners and doors.
Alrighty, so that is a hard leadership check.
As he's like, just because Quinn's in charge doesn't mean I can't give orders.
Oh, well,
I've got the 3 purple in there for you.
Awesome.
I respect my ground leader. Whoa, look at that.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Alrighty, so take a point of personal strain.
Alrighty, and with 2 successes, bonus applies to additional crew.
Okay, so you still have 3 successes. What does that give you?
It doesn't say that it adds anything here. All it says is it's plus blue to the next crew member firing. If I get at least 2 successes, bonus applies to additional crew with 3 advantages, plus 1 strain to target hit.
Nice.
So
Okay.
everybody gets a extra blue dice on their next
Shooty shoot
Fine.
roll. I mean, the way you guys are playing it out, you might not even need to shoot somebody.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Well, now if we do, they'll be dead.
Okay, so top of the order, who is going first?
Oh,
I think we should let Enos go first.
But who?
Mandalorian.
You're still
no,
out
no,
of
no.
range for
Sorry,
shooting
Oni.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'd do.
You want Oni?
Well,
I think because if Oni starts coming out towards us, then we'll be able to do something afterwards.
yeah, but he'll be that much closer to the TIE fighters with us that much farther back.
So the
Not if
time
he's
to go first is what you're saying, Commander Quinn.
I mean, yeah, he's drastically closer to them. He doesn't want to draw 6 on him by himself.
Yeah.
I would rather get us closer and so that we can help, not, because he's gonna. That's a lot for just him before
Yeah.
we could get there. So.
Unless it's not, because he's that good.
We'll find out.
I don't know this rookie, so I don't know, man. He might come with high regards, but until I see it. All right, so I am going to 1, 2, so I'm increasing speed by 1. And I want to... Let's see here.
I like how y'all are being real slow and cautious on the approach.
It takes strain, man. Ship strain.
Just slam that pedal to the metal.
So I want to do. Let me see what. Okay, mod system hull trauma threshold. Let's see. Trying to think the best way to make this work. So I want to try to send, I'm not sure how the best way to work it, but I want to send a basically a tight beam communication at the group of TIE fighters straight ahead.
Ooh. Okay.
Just basically like, yo, assholes.
The Y-wing equivalent of the bum, 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 ba, da, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. As you're immediately like, time to do something stupid. Crank,
I'd rather
crank.
draw him towards us, and he can come up and smack him in the ass.
Ooh.
I like this idea.
Quinn's getting all tactical. I like it.
What? Kind of like surgery. You got to plan stuff out, you know?
Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, so any particular message you're sending, or just sending a signal?
Just, hey, howdy guys, with, obvious Republic encoding.
I believe the exact terminology was "Hey assholes."
Yeah, that might be too.
I thought it was nya 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 nya.
It's like, what's up, rookies?
Hey, you yo-hos who don't know about paint jobs.
Right? Yeah, non-skilled hacks.
Okay, so who's going next? Is clearly their boards are lighting up right now, and there's going to be a response.
Do you want me to stealth our vehicle?
Yeah. Ooh.
How are you going to stealth the vehicle?
I've got that jammer thingy.
So you mean jam communications?
They can still look outside their window and see us, right?
Yeah, they can.
Well, they've already got my signal, so.
Yeah, it's basically a sensor jammer. Is that what you're talking about? The sensor jammer or
Right.
a comm jammer?
Which one did we put on the ship?
I think we did a sensor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you have the sensor jammer, which basically just puts static, within a certain distance around your ship, so they can't see you on radar. They just see that somebody's screwing with the radar.
Got it. I like that one.
Okay, so you're gonna go next and turn it on.
If the commander says so.
Go for it.
It's a good
Okay.
it's a good tactic. Go ahead and give me
Yeah.
a computer's check for turning on the Gemma.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go for it.
And it's grape.
It is grape flavor. As all of a sudden you turn it on, and pretty much both of your sensor screens are now staticky. But that's a good thing.
I should have gotten an additional blue
Why should you have gotten additional blue for the jammer?
for the leadership.
I thought that was for attacking.
Yeah, it only applies on firing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was a general. Go get him, guys.
No.
No,
Never mind.
this was totally his. Was the aim for the where the wings connect to the ball cockpits.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no. It's a deep breath, exhale, squeeze.
All right.
Okay, so they are immediately
Hold them up.
turning around, and these things are fast. See how fast they are?
Oh, yeah.
They are immediately turning into your direction and finding out what the hell these ships are.
So with the one success, did it work?
Yeah, your jammer is jamming the screen, so basically the planet sensors can't spot you.
Okay.
You're just a big ball of static. So whatever happens in your static ball, that's totally up to who knows what's going on. And by the way, Oni, you totally notice on even your passive sensors, there's a big ball of fuzz out there.
Oh, look at that. They announced their presence. That'll make it easy for me to get out of here.
Yeah, and you see the group there in front of you all of a sudden pull off, go.
Oh, it's almost like there's a reason somebody was flying so slow. Look at that. They're just out of blaster range.
What? No way.
And Kay, on your sensor jammer, what is the range of that? I asked the good question, see?
It just says -1 silhouette, designed to blind and deafen enemy ships.
Okay. Okay, so there's just static on the comms. Remember that we need to transmit those hyperspace coordinates?
Well, that's why we waited until after we did that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was sensors, not comms.
It's the electronic countermeasures suite.
Electronic countermeasure suite. Let me look.
Designed to blind and deafen enemy ships, an electronic countermeasure suite transmits a dense stream of white noise and junk data that fogs sensors and jams comm traffic within close range of the broadcasting ship.
Okay, so within close range of your ship.
It may be applied to all starships and vehicles.
Well,
And
starship,
most
it can be
sensors
put
are
on.
just like close and short range.
Yeah. So it makes your target smaller when they get close. So it affects your silhouette in combat.
Yep.
Nice.
So it makes you harder to hit.
That's the distance that your jammer pops up.
Nice.
And it was close range, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the big cloud of fuzz that's out there. So getting in close to the... let me make sure everybody can see it then. Because I forgot they added that into Roll20 that when you put a circle, it's only for you to see unless you let others see it. Y'all see it now?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So it does behoove you to get close to these guys so they can't radio for help. As for their action, they are going to proceed to radio that there's 2 fighters out here. We're going to, and they start shooting some radio comms towards you guys, and you guys are just hearing hiss, hiss, Imperial, as we totally need to turn them towards you, by the way. And basically what they're doing is we're gonna have one of them one of the interceptors is gonna try to scan you guys, but they're not gonna get anything out of it. But it is gonna be a computer scan.
So is that an opposed skill?
Nope. It's
Oh my
just
God.
going after the difficulty of the crap that's floating around out there.
Oh.
What?
Sorry.
What's wrong?
Oh, something fans catch cat who falls at stadium. It's like this freaking cat on like way in the hell up in the air above on this awning, hanging by a wire.
Oof.
Like a good story and a half, 2 stories. Now probably almost 3 stories, 2 to 3 stories, and it's like hanging there. And everybody's trying to wait to catch it at a looked like a baseball game.
Oh no.
But yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Hang on there, kitty, for reals.
No, it fell. It fell. They caught it though.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's, obviously using his sensors to scan these 2 ships. He's getting jack and diddly from you guys. But he does happen to notice with those 2 successes that there is an X-Wing coming from the planet.
No,
Crap.
So this duo does seem to be interested to go backwards. They're like, why is there an X-Wing coming from the planet? I mean, there's X-Wings that are used, but why is there one on the planet?
Didn't they already move 6 this way?
They did.
So they're turning around.
Basically, you're just realizing
also.
their intention is to come after you. So
Oh,
you
what's
clearly
going
see they're banking to come back, so they're splitting up.
They came from behind.
So who's going next?
Never split the party.
Me.
Okay, what is Rigger gonna do?
So I'm gonna move.
Okay.
And make my speed bigger or more. So 2.
Okay.
From there. And I don't remember ever really doing much besides going shooting. So, I don't. Are we close enough?
So they're just out of blaster range, but if you have missiles, aren't missiles good for short range?
Yes.
So your
I would-
missiles are out good to 7. See, this is your
Yeah.
missile range.
But I was looking and I didn't see any. Unless it just hasn't.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
missiles.
Yeah, look
We
at
did?
You have
Okay.
3 sets of missiles.
Okay, cool. Commander, do you want me to shoot him?
You make your tactical choices.
Yeah,
I trust you.
I clearly see on your ship you've got forward-mounted laser cannon. You have forward-mounted
that's what
twin
that is.
photon torpedo launchers. That's
Thank
the
you.
very last weapon you have there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll use one of those.
Go for
Okay. So they are at short range.
Okay.
Are you gonna be like doing anything fancy for like taking some personal strain to aim or no?
Yes. I'll
Okay.
take personal strain to aim.
Okay, I got a blue dice in there for you, so go ahead and fire when ready.
Okay.
And
it's
which
been a minute.
pair are you shooting at?
Okay, hold on.
They're both within range of missiles.
Okay, and then which dice am I? There's
So-
which gunnery and piece? Aha, this one. Okay,
Go to your ship page,
I'm there.
and you should see where it says gunnery, and then there's a D20 off to the right of it.
All right, I'm. Am I
Alright.
good to roll?
Also,
Tell me,
Which
just tell me
target?
which one are you targeting?
Oh, I did the thing of the.
Wait, I saw. Okay, that one. Boop. Okay. Okay.
Before- Before she does, she should also have a blue from fire discipline, right?
Yep. So she's at 2 blue. She's taking aim.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, go.
Wow.
Whoa!
So now you have a triumph. So
Uh-huh.
if you want, you could use any of those features that comes with it, which is Blast 6, Breach 6, Guided 2. I'm telling you for a fact, you hit and you obliterated the first one you were aiming at.
Okay.
If you do Blast, the second one blows up too. Or if you do basically Triumph for a crit, the second one blows up too. So what would you like to do?
I want to blow up both of them. I just don't
Okay.
know.
So you shoot your missile out like a champ. And you use its blast effect, so you're only using a single missile instead of using 2 missiles up. And it obliterates the 2 fighters that are close together.
Okay.
1 missile, 2 ships. Thunder Squadron, go.
Right?
Okay. So who's going next?
I'll go next.
As this poor TIE fighter duo is rethinking their life choices.
You said short range is 7.
Short range is 7, yep.
Okay, so I can get to, let's see, 5 there. And then that should put me within 7 of this guy.
That
Yep.
does put you within 7 of that guy.
And so I also would like to fire a proton torpedo, but I am going to showboat.
And
Yeah.
what does Showboat do?
I take 2 strain, and if I succeed, I add a triumph. If I fail, I add a despair.
Ooh.
All right, I like that. That's one of those risk reward abilities. I am a fan of that.
Oh darn it! I was trying to find the button.
And I have brought balance to the force.
It was bound to happen.
All right. Oh well. Okay.
I mean, what's the worst that
All
happens?
right.
The despair comes up and reinforcements show up?
Yeah. Well, that's probably what's going to happen. Okay. So is there difficulty to that?
Yep, you are set.
All right. Okay.
And it sucks to be
So-
them.
So I not only so I assume let's see, that's 11 damage to the one, and that way I can use my Triumph to activate Blast.
Or the 2 advantages you have there.
Yeah, or those. Either one. What's it? What about Breach? Do I have to activate that, or is that automatic?
Breach is automatic.
Breach is automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So needless to say, if you do Blast, they both vaporize.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And then I'll just take those 2 strain right back with those 2 advantage.
Okay, as this hot dog fighter pilot in his fancy X-wing does the weighing bubble.
Roll as I fire the torpedo.
As you know, he saw how some hotshot shot her torpedo off, so he's shooting his torpedo off and blasts the 2 that noticed you that were thinking of turning around out of the sky.
See, we just anviled them. That was the anvil maneuver.
Yeah.
Love it.
If you listen and count the seconds, you can tell how far away the Thunder Squadron is.
Right?
So,
just to clarify, if I remember right, we had discussed on the missiles that it's a pair per bank. So it's 3 loads pair per missile bank because it's dual. So when you fire, it's 1 set of missiles. So we have 3 sets.
Yeah, because it does the shoot choo-choo.
Yeah, it's 2, so it's automatically 2 per. Okay. So 3 banks of missiles to fire. So it's a pair, either 1 hits or 2 hits if you can activate linked.
Because then it doesn't.
So you automatically fire off 2 each time.
Yeah.
Right, but the charge of 3 is 2 per charge. If I remember us discussing it, somebody brought it up.
That
you
way,
can fire 2 missiles 3 times.
That way, having the linked one works because it doesn't make sense then if you're saying you're shooting a single and then linked one pops up and a second missile magically pops out of its butt.
Right.
which makes a little more sense because like when we see them shoot the missiles, they come out as a pair.
Right.
Like so when Luke does his slam dunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a pair come out. It's 1 hits. Or if you're lucky, you get a dual hit.
I don't think it's appropriate to talk about the Death Star incident on September 11th.
Too soon. Too soon.
Right?
Well, has it actually happened yet? That's still in the future, isn't it?
That's still in the future. Yep.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So way too soon.
Linked too soon. So who is going last?
I believe that would be me. And everything's dead again.
As your poor targeting reticle is still saying out of range.
So I'm just gonna like pull up like a HoloNet site and start looking at like vintage Clone Wars gear. Nothing better to do.
Clone War porn? What? No.
Oh no.
That I'm sure it's out there on the internet somewhere. Okay, so top of the order. I think I sense who's probably going to go first before things start happening.
Oni.
I'll just gun it out there.
As you know, you visually see the missile launching ships and go, I think that's my ride.
Hey, there's my guys. That's my crew.
Okay, so who is going next?
We have
you want me to drop the interference so we can talk to him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have to really roll for that?
Nope, that's just a flip of the switch.
Okay.
Okay, so you've dropped it.
Yep.
Then I will take your little jammy circle away. Ba-bam. Okay, so immediately,
And
you know, the
and then I'll
comm.
transfer, and then I'll send the special code coordinates that we were giving to him.
Okay, Rigger's special address for hyperspace.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the code sign, because we were supposed to code sign, and he was supposed to. No. The code sign first.
Oh, look at the spy making sure to maintain proper security. Okay, so Oni, you received the expected call sign. Talking's a pretty much free incidental. I mean, you get the code sign. Do you respond appropriately?
Sure.
Okay, so you know he basically gives you this very cocky attitude over the comms with reply.
It sounds like he's perfect for Thunder Squadron.
Deveronians.
Okay,
He's got the devil's
I'll
mind.
send him the coordinates.
Okay, so they basically send you a string of 10 numbers for the hyperspace coordinates.
Acknowledged. I'm glad you guys finally showed up. I was getting tired of fleecing officers at the sabacc table.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
As of course, you know, off in the distance here, we've got 5 ships over there. We've got
Looks like standardized. Well,
5 more over there at a distance. They're too far away to do Jack and Diddley.
how'd that go?
Jack and Diddley.
No, the sound effect.
Oh,
Okay. That's what I thought. Just want to make sure.
so who is going next? I mean, if you're a pilot, you can totally turn around and take off into hyperspace and say later, guys.
Yeah, whoever wants to get us the hell out of here.
Well, our job's to make sure that our mission is completed, which is him jumping.
Aww.
Once he's jumped, then we will jump.
Listen to your new wing commander for the day. I mean, and literally, your Basilisk Commander Pappy's got it on his board. Wing commander for the day. Underlined.
So
Who's the daily acting commander?
It's kind of like employee.
Your
of the
wing
month.
commander until you land or I find someone better.
hey. so yeah, we'll so where are we at? So those guys went, so we're still within range. He's fast. I'm only doing 2, so I'll turn around and move back 2.
Okay, so you're totally, doing this great little cool bank shot where you flip around.
Yep.
And for visual effects, you can totally turn your ship around if you want.
I know that. Is that bothering you?
No.
What I forget. How do we ship?
If you click on the token, you'll
that's
see
right.
a little box pop up.
Yep. That's right.
And then
There
once the box pops up, you grab that top stick and wiggle it around.
Yeah. There
You take control of the stick.
Yeah.
like a fighter pilot. I don't know where you were going with that. Okay, so who is going next?
I can. Just do the same thing. Turn around and go 2.
Okay, you guys are busting into formation so he can swoop in and join you guys and take off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is going last? As poor Kay's like, what's left to do? I was going to hack the planet. Okay, so top of the order.
Yep.
Well, they gave me the coordinates, right?
Yep. Got coordinates. Get the heck out of here, kid.
I'm far enough past the gravity well?
Yep, you are past the gravity well.
I say, all right, I'll see y'all soon, and hop to hyperspace.
As you click the button and make the ship stretch into hyperspace and slingshot to the location they gave you. And then I'm assuming the other 2 are going to follow suit.
Yep.
Yep.
Sadly, there's like a group of TIE fighters that all are showing up late to the party and see nothing but a wreckage of TIE fighters, and 3 ships blur off into hyperspace with that cool little star streak. Okay, so you guys pop into the beta site, which is a nice, secure place full of pretty much nothing in the Outer Rim. So it's basically, that little edge between solar systems where it's literally jack and nothing.
Nice.
So what do you guys do as you pull your ships kind of close together so you can see each other through your cockpits?
Also smile and wave, give a thumbs up.
Now, quick question, Kay. You're still occupying the back seat of your Y-wing, right?
Yep.
As you oddly notice, one of the Y-wings has no pilot sitting at the stick. Just a guy on his computer in the back and an astromech in the socket.
Right?
He's sitting there reading his internet newspaper. Onward, Jeeves! So you are free to talk with each other. You seem to have no danger here. There's pretty much nothing but the occasional floating piece of not dangerous space garbage. I want to make sure you're not worried about space garbage. So it's non-threatening space garbage.
So we just gave him coordinates for the first jump, right?
Yep, you guys are at the beta site.
All right. Well, we got you out of there. What were you doing on such a planet by yourself?
Whoa,
Just out of
like I said,
curiosity.
fleecing Imperial officers at the sabacc tables. Gets old after a while, though. They're not very clever.
Well, that might be, but kind of odd to go down with such an obvious ship into a Imperial territory.
Oh, well, you mean what was my mission there, not what I was doing there.
Right.
Gene, what was the mission there? I was gathering intel or something
Yep,
like that?
you were basically gathering intel on the TIE Interceptor, its capabilities. You're basically hanging out there as a pilot, prospectively thinking of signing up for the Academy, and getting specs on the new Interceptor and the pilot's training for it.
Cool. Okay. I say, well, like I said, that was what I was doing, after the first day or two after I completed the mission. So, just, having a good, grand old time.
Oh, you were gathering intel? You'll probably want to sit down and have lunch with Kay. Bring a little extra cash. It'll take a few coffees to get through that conversation.
Is Kay the invisible pilot over there? Or the imaginary pilot?
Back.
Yeah, Kay's the backseat driver.
Who's the invisible pilot?
The invisible pilot's the astromech on top.
I
Oh.
wave.
As Rigger pops out one of her little hands.
Hello, little one.
He calls me little one.
So did you acquire the special information you were looking for?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. All right. Now let's get
I
the...
said, are you asking for it?
I mean, you could give it to Kay and he could start analyzing, and that way we can clarify and scrub everything before we give it to Pappy.
All right. Yeah. Are you on Facebook, or should I? Where should I send it?
Yeah. Right over to Kay over there.
You can just transmit it to his ship. He'll get it.
Okay, I'll send it direct beam over to the ship. Just
He's
send
got
it
a
over.
unique
Email.
insight in Imperial business. You want to run up the new coordinates there, Rigger?
Sure.
And you already have the coordinates? You want to use them as you got, or do you want to try to improve on the location?
I will always want to try to improve on
Okay.
the location.
Okay, go for
If
it.
it's worse, we'll go with the original, right?
If it's worse, depending on what the dice roll says, you think you found better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, in that case,
Because
got
remember,
it.
when you do it, you don't know if it's worse until you hit the button and go there. I've
Yeah,
got
I
your
hit a
upgrade in
button.
there.
But you got this. We're all good.
do I
trust you.
actually got this and I can roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
You totally got this. See?
Look at that. Look at
5
that.
successes. You shaved time off of it because you had a better location, and you basically went, "Brrrt," and there's the coordinates.
Took half a second to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everyone who has control of the ship.
Hey.
And we will jump
Yep.
on my mark. Mark.
You're like, okay, and okay. Brrrt.
Oh, Mark needs go, and then I hit it.
Oh, someone's a bit of a smartass.
Oh, he fits in.
Okay, so you guys pop. You see this beautiful Corvette sitting there waiting for you. It's got like one new carbon score that you see that it must have, decided to stick around to at least take one shot before it jumped out. And
Classic Pappy.
and you see Pappy's voice pop up on your comm saying, "About time you got here." Nope, just kidding. We just got here ourselves. So did you?
We had to wait for the kid to catch up to us.
Ooh.
So can I do my analyze data?
You can totally do analyze data.
That's why I had him send it to you.
You spent the whole hyperspace jump just web surfing his answers.
Also, welcome home, new guy.
Why, thanks. It's not as roomy as I would have expected, but hey,
We'll get there.
better than the 4x4 Imperial cell I could be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We'll have plenty of room when Pappy finds another mud ball.
You make it sound so glamorous.
Only the best.
I think that's gotta be sarcasm.
Okay, are there any modifiers on this?
Nope, it's just 2 purple.
Okay.
It's not like he encrypted it or anything. It's pretty much just he's sending you a bunch of photos and his little notes, which will be interesting to find out what his notes say about these things.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go for it. Wow.
I do what I do.
So needless to say, he immediately starts cleaning up your dirty notes because you didn't put shit in order. He starts codifying things as moving shots, tactical breakdowns, weapon
Really
schematics.
sloppy handwriting too.
He has an algorithm that cleans up your handwriting and writes it back into basic proper.
Proper terms for some of the Imperial stuff that you probably didn't use.
You're totally like, that's not a flight suit, that's a hard suit. He's redeclaring and classifying some of the shit you just made, rough hand notes of. So he completely cleans it up. And what does he want for that triumph?
Ooh, well,
Is there any way that potentially he could see from the different notes that Evan took that he might be able to piece together some other information that wasn't actually recorded, but he could figure out from like the different information that was provided?
That's
Kinda
totally a
key
thing.
Like
aspect.
extrapolate.
oh, I also want to add
Like big words.
the things we saw about their speed and turning abilities, and
Ooh.
how bad the pilots are.
Because that's just what one adds to those, because, you know.
Ships, not bad, not bad. Pilots, could use some work.
No. Standard Imperial discipline and accuracy.
Or is that inaccuracy?
Right?
But yeah, that's I'll learn. I want to put in extra stuff on the fighters.
Like the hidden notes that you picked up, things like I will totally tell you that the TIE Interceptor has again little to no armor, like 2 points. The hull is only like 6, and the fact that it has no defenses, and the only thing going for it is the medium blaster cannons. It has linked 3 because the 4 cannons. That's the only thing going for it, is its speed of 6 and the fact that it's got handling plus 3, because you got to watch a mini video of it doing obstacle course. So you know that it's got speed of 6, handling of 3, and linked 3 laser cannons.
So
this
basically, in the hands of a really skilled pilot, it's super good, but the Imperials probably won't be able to utilize all of that neat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like giving a sports car to a teenager.
Yep.
Right?
If only they had good pilots. It's a good thing you got out of there before the aces showed up.
Some of those.
Oh yeah, if you put Rigger in one of these and let her mod this thing out, she could be a killer in this little pod. Problem is, it's got no hyperspace jump. You know, it's not really great unless you're wanting to mass produce stuff.
Well, I thought it did have hyperspace, or is that just Vader's modification?
That was Vader's that was modified for that.
Okay. Never mind.
Got excited for a second, but fine.
Right?
Well, but that means that there is an extra hard port where we could make it more capable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or it's just a Vader specialty. It's outside the canon.
Yep. I just double checked, and the TIE Interceptor does not have Navicomputer or hyperdrive.
Well, damn it. Fine.
Does it have extra hard points?
It has no hard points.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
on the
any of
plus
TIEs
side,
can
you
jump,
can.
Right?
Yeah. There is the one that's set up for it. That's the Vader style.
Right.
There's only
Isn't that
like.
the TIE Advanced?
What's that?
Isn't that the TIE Advanced?
Yeah, the TIE Advanced. And of course, the TIE Phantom had that, because basically it's a TIE Advanced with extra modifications.
Yeah.
You know, the derpy looking third set of wings.
But those are very limited and only going to high-ranking officers.
And of course, Kay's looking at this and he's like, you do realize for a tramp freighter, you could afford to buy 2 of these for the price of a tramp freighter. But unfortunately, your pilots will only live 2 days in one of these if they're stuck somewhere.
Right. So depressing.
It's so sad that they would put somebody in this.
It's almost like they're expendable.
What?
And its encumbrance is only 4. You could barely fit a captain's, a pilot's survival kit in there with you.
Right?
Couldn't fit my gun.
Oh. So we'll land. We'll take our new charge to Pappy and everything.
Okay, so you basically get directions to board the ship, which basically it's a Corvette cruiser, and each of its 4 main hatches you guys can dock, and you basically open your cockpits into an airlock and crawl out.
Yeah, you're able to dock against the ship, yeah?
Yep. His cockpit is like yours that he can dock.
Well,
and
no, that
pop
was
out.
a question directly to him, like questioning his skills.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna answer. I'm just gonna fly ahead of them and do it.
Okay, so go ahead Go ahead and give me a piloting check then, since Quinn threw it out there as a challenge. Let's make sure everybody can dock effectively. If you have extra handling like Rigger, make sure you have the extra blue dice for your handling.
Oh, right.
Because I know Rigger's got her mods on her X-Wing to be super maneuverable. I mean, her Y-Wing.
Yeah, she's.
I mean, I do, but it doesn't say I do.
Did you look on
I
your
think-
ship? It'll be on the ship's handling.
I was trying. Hold on. Once again,
Yes, yes,
It's good, right?
it's there. Yep. And if you
Yeah.
look on your
Oh,
skill for
okay.
piloting, you'll see you have 3B listed in the blank line next to it on the skills.
I totally know where you're looking. I swear.
Okay.
Skills.
So go to the skills tab.
And this is not the.
Not on the
vehicle sheet,
spaceship.
right?
Nope. Okay, so
Okay,
you want to
cool.
scroll all the way up and go. There you go. Now scroll all the way down to piloting.
Oh, you can see me actually doing this. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm peeking at your character sheet. I mean, if
Ah,
I want to
that's
freak
where
you out,
the
I can do that and screw with you and click your buttons for you too.
You know that actually
Is
might
the,
help me
is the
more.
difficulty set? James?
The difficulty is set.
Okay.
And there is a bonus blue dice because, of course, ground control is helping you out. So, needless to say, Rigger has 0 issue docking and is doing like some fancy shit. All 3 of you dock with no problem. There's the sweet, sweet sound of the recycled air flooding into your cockpit. Kind of like, you as soon as you guys open, there's immediately a security detachment there with Pappy. 4 rebel troopers in their little vests and helmets
Good.
with their blaster
can't-
pistols out just in case. And
I don't know this
immediately,
Deveronian.
Pappy kind of like lifts one of his forearms up and they kind of holster their blaster pistols. As he just says, "As I live and breathe." And what is the name of Oni's father, by the way?
Lee's father, Diablo.
Diablo.
Oh.
As I live and breathe. I never thought I'd see it, but I've got one of Diablo's spawn under my command.
Ugh, Spawn.
And of course, Deveronians have that big mouth with a little frog-like, chin. Have these guys show you where you can throw your gear, and have some food, and then meet me in the briefing room in an hour.
An hour, not nearly enough time to get into too much trouble. And as I walk by the guys with those silly helmets, I'll pat them on the helmet and say, "Good job."
Do me a favor. Give me a charm or a coercion check.
Charm or coercion?
Yeah.
Oh, not
As
nice.
you're being cocky.
What? Hadn't noticed.
As, you do it to one guy and he gives you this sour look, but the guy's buddy kind of elbows him and says, "They are kind of stupid."
For the love. Okay.
Apparently you think the security crew might be immediately liking this Deveronian for some strange reason. Apparently he's got the
Yes.
devil's luck.
As they play that game.
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have totally did the whole "only I call it stupid."
I'm so sad. I just opened my last can of Mescalero Del Bac.
Aw.
Ooh.
It's so good. It's a nice stout with chocolate, dark flavors, coffee, and it's Mexican chocolate, by the way,
Oh, so it's
And-
good stuff.
and vanilla. Oh yeah. My last can, they don't have any.
Is it out of season?
I mean, I've had the can in the fridge for several months. It's from 1912. They're picky about. He's all just barely came out with a stout again. We've been crying, several of us, for a stout. It's like, well, it's summer. Like, I don't care.
That's
But
the,
this one's barrel aged in Del Bach whiskey barrels.
ooh. So it's
So
picked up
it's-
all kinds of flavors.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Fancy, fancy, fancy.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, that's my last little can, and it comes in like a real small can because it's like fairly high alcohol content. I forget what the percentage is.
Good enough that after one, you know it's.
It should say it on the bottle with proof. Take half of that.
It's canned, but I got actually special cans. It's 12%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're implying that the alcohol content is low enough that you can read the can afterwards.
Yeah,
It's so
Yeah.
blurry.
yeah, 12%, and they come in 8-ounce cans because of
Oh,
the
not bad.
percentage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's just this rich little, so good.
As I like to
Sorry.
refer to it as the dessert beers.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Hopefully he'll make some more now that I drink my last can.
Hopefully. That way you can do the whole, do the social media call out and say, we need more.
Yeah. Well, he just released his first winter stout, the Mexican Game Night.
Ooh.
Yeah. So have not had that yet. So
Now the trick is, have you told Mark to order from him?
no. Well, the weapons check is from 1912, but he hasn't gotten any of the others yet. So
As apparently I just got kicked out of Roll20, so I have to refresh. I will be right
What?
back.
Oh.
I was dreaming
Sure
about
you're
a
still there.
tasty alcoholic beverage. Oh, I'm back in. As all of a sudden I looked and I'm like, oh, I just got knocked out. I was back at the launch screen.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so you guys basically...
So yeah, give him a penny tour of the place. You know, here you go. Throw your shit there. Go get a bite here. Let's go.
I'm trying to remember, how do I get strain back now that we're back at base?
So if you're looking to get back strain, you could do a cool check to get some strain back.
Okay.
Are you wanting to do that?
Yeah. I want strain back, Jim.
Yeah, I want to do that too.
She doesn't like being strained.
I'm
Apparently.
only
Okay.
down one, but what the heck?
Hey.
No, I don't. The last time wasn't great.
Aw, it sounds sad when you say it that way.
It's supposed to be. Anyway, hi. All right, doing it.
Apparently it's not very restful with the new guy on board.
Apparently.
Well, those blues aren't supposed to be there. Or those purples, I mean.
Oh, let me get those taken out.
Okay.
Well, you can just
Just
figure out
ignore
the
them.
numbers. Yeah, just ignore it. There's one. So Ani got one success, and then Rigger got one success.
So you each get back one strain.
Yay.
That's all I needed.
So we go see Pappy. It's like, yeah, I got the penny tour. He knows where all the critical things are.
Man, a few words, this guy. I don't think he likes me.
Ooh.
Oh.
He doesn't like you either. No. Yeah. No, just, don't know you. You're coming out across cocky. We just got, burned by our squadron leader. So, just a little on edge. A little
More cautious.
interesting.
Been a rough week.
Everybody's still a little raw, As you come in there, and of course, the holographic display is playing replays of Thunder Squadron's greatest hits.
Oh, there's a lot of those. It's a long video.
That one will bring back bad flashbacks to the crew.
Yeah.
Trying to get a bunch of prison transports liberated, and they did a better job of causing rebellion on the ships. And, you're seeing these weird
Wow.
combat vids going, and you're just like, what's going on? And prisoner ship marked as friendly explodes,
You're not supposed to keep all those things.
Happy. The hell?
As, you guys are seeing your best hits, and Pappy basically sits you all down, and there's conveniently a steward, that comes on, in the briefing room with a tray full of, beverages, some fresh calf for everybody because they've been resupplied. It's
Aw.
actual Rio beans and not the powder.
What?
Nice.
Thanks.
As, he basically says, I assume introductions have been completed?
Sort of. I'm Oni, everybody. Hi. Good to meet you.
So,
Welcome
the name's
aboard.
Jonas. I'm the ground guy.
Brown
Yep.
guy. Okay. That's your
Yeah,
name?
he's our ground commander, light surgeon.
Enos. Name. Mandalorian. All good.
Ah,
Yep.
Weird obsession for old stuff. But
Pretty good at getting shot.
Very good at getting shot. Not even pretty good.
He carries around a proud data stick with all his injuries that have been healed.
Yeah, but I do have the biggest guns and the most bombs of anyone in the team. So if you need me to blow something up, I'm your guy. Unless you have a big ship to do it for you. But when you don't have a big ship to do it for you, that's why they need me.
Quinn
Lots of
and
work.
him are best friends. It's fine.
as long as it
Alright,
works,
Arsenal
might be a little
without the
archaic.
And Pappy's just sitting there with two of his forearms holding, calf mugs, sipping on one and sipping on the other. You can tell he's keeping that perfect temperature level balance between the two. And he's just kind of like keenly watching the dynamic between you guys.
Yeah, the kid handled himself okay. He'll work out.
And he's just like, as I expected from anyone sired by Diablo.
does this dry erase board say squad leader of the day?
And he kind of like snorts into one of his calf cups as he sips it. Like, good. At least my joke wasn't wasted on this time.
And I'll turn to Rigger. I say, Ed Little One, are you in charge tomorrow? What day's mine?
Is it? No. I'm never in charge. No.
As he kind of like looks over at Little Rigger, he's like, well, now that we've cleared up that programming glitch from a while back, I'm actually thinking of putting Rigger in charge next time.
Run away.
Speaking of your next mission, since you've now gotten accustomed to each other's, company, I decided I'd allow you guys to come to a decision of which new location you're going to scout out to see what'll be our new home away from home. We've got to find a place to park this old lady here, and he kind of like bangs the deck with one of his, knuckles. And he kind of clicks a button, and a holovid pops up with 3 different locations. And, one is a desert planet. It's got like a bunch of warnings on there, hostile life forms, and little insects get shown, and some reptiles get shown. Then it's got another one that shows a old abandoned space station with a bunch of ship debris around it, and lots of navigation warnings saying, radiation leak, solar flare issue, debris field. And then the third one comes back as a old exploration cruiser, an actual ship that's just drifting through the void. And there's like unknown is blinking underneath it, like, ominously. You wish that there was a warning label because it's just saying unknown. And he's kind of like looking at you guys as he's flipping through them back and forth with his little control fob, as he's just trying to like.
With a beach?
He's just he kind of chuckles at that and goes back to the desert planet. Plenty of sand for you on this one.
I mean, I hate to upgrade from mud ball to dust ball, but I think I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with some solid ground under my feet rather than floating on some, dilapidated station or cruiser that's barely holding together.
Well, that unknown is really intriguing. Who knows? It may be some treasury ship from a long-lost pirate or something. Could be awesome.
Aw, man, the new guy's a curious type.
As he just kind of chuckles at that one, because that is kind of funny.
So really, we're getting like survey duty.
Well, we just want you to go and check the place out and find a securable location to call home for a while.
Alright.
My vote's for dust ball. Anybody else got some opinions?
My vote's for the
space-
unknown.
The second one I'm cool with because we could fix it up, but I also don't die like you fleshies. So
Wow.
I think
James,
the term you're looking for is meat bag.
What's up, Scott?
can I make a known schematic to see if I can identify anything on those two ships?
Neither. I can flat out tell you neither one of them are Imperial or Republic design.
Okay.
Damn.
So I think that
Can I tell what type of design it is? Like what race or species or something?
Give me a knowledge check.
Education.
It's actually going to be Outer Rim.
Outer Rim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just because I'm a jerk.
Oh, I was gonna get that.
damn.
They
Oh,
always
wow.
say that when I click it. And I've got it set for you.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
So, you kind of recognize the station as it's one of the Outer Rim species. I'm not going to tell you the name quite yet, but you recognize it.
Okay.
And you believe it seems to have been a commerce style station. So it'd basically be one of those that would be used for trade or commerce. It doesn't seem military whatsoever. Unless those three threat are misleading you in some way. That you got the species right and not the intention of the station. The other one is the spaceship that you see, the derelict ship drifting through space. That basically just looks like old scratchy Blair Witch style video. Or spacer, stuff. You recognize that one as possibly Old Jedi. We're talking like Old Republic Jedi Exploration Corps.
Ooh.
I think he's changing his vote.
I'm gonna say I want to go on that old Jedi ship.
Yes.
And the desert one, by the way, you recognize it as a planet that, since it was an Outer Rim you rolled, I can give you that. Actually, no, I cannot. It's the planet in question is in the Inner Rim, the far west reaches of the Inner Rim. Some system called Jakku.
Oh no.
Oh. So is that a core world?
It is considered on the Inner Rim, but it is in one of the far, 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 very rarely traveled.
Is it under knowledge, skill, core world?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have anything in that?
Sorry, in what again?
Knowledge core worlds.
I've got 3 green.
Core world would be 4 green. I mean, all my knowledge checks are 4. It's down towards the bottom of the skills.
Yeah, sorry. Took me a minute.
They
4 worlds.
conveniently
I
group
have
'em.
4 green. All of it are 4 green. So
So we could work on it together and get a
Yeah.
blue for a check to see what we know.
yeah. With also. Sorry, my computer's being weird.
It's okay. So immediately, Kay is like, according to files I've seen. Oh, let me put that in there for your roll.
Okay.
Wow.
Go for it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oof. As you're just like, this dusty planet is ugly. I don't want to go there.
You're right. I don't.
It's one of dozens of dirt, dust planets that are out there.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm okay to check out the Jedi ship. Who knows what kind of little fun things it might provide to Thunder Squadron.
I mean, at the very least, it could be retrofitted to become a station. The video that they showed you guys, it doesn't look like it's operational, and the engines are definitely not online because like one of them is missing. But it did register it had energy conduits working on board, which is amazing. It wasn't covered in Minox. And that there was traces of atmosphere when this video was taken during the beginning of the Clone Wars.
What's its relative size?
What's that?
What's its relative size?
It's about twice the size of the carrier you're on now.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the plan would be to, since it's in between in the ass end of space, basically convert it to a way station.
Yeah, could be handy.
I mean, if
And
nothing
could
else, it could be used as a drop site for ships to dock and things like that.
Yeah.
Keep it looking ruined and wrecked, and just board it when needed, and drop things off for supplies.
Because they have secret tools and knowledge that might help. So yeah, I vote for that. And I was reading something of interest that we haven't done. Once everybody votes, I'll bring up my observation.
That
We
was
all
my
good?
vote also.
Are we good for the Jedi ship then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
As he kind of looks at Rigger, and he's like, I figured the scavenger of the group would want the wreckage.
So along the lines of being a scavenger and such, so I was just looking at duty and play and stuff. So actually, duty should be rolled just like obligation. Because it's saying here all characters increase their wound threshold by 2 for the remainder of the session, and the player with the character whose duty was triggered increases by 4. 2 and 4 wound thresholds is pretty critical,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's our Mandalorian.
For what? His skill use, or?
No, for duty, on page. If I can find the page number.
Yeah, you roll it like obligation.
Yeah, it actually should be rolled like obligation, and then if it triggers, it actually gives you bonuses instead of negatives.
That's like
It's,
the inverse of obligation.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean the beginning of the game's part of it? Yeah.
Yeah. So duty and play under character creation, it talks about everybody gets 2 wound thresholds and 4 for the person's duty that was triggered.
Hmm.
It's reverse of obligation.
Yep, and then you build up to the reward as long as they're playing to the duty.
Right. So, I mean, I'll take extra frickin' wound thresholds, especially if we're doing a ground mission.
Especially if you're getting out of your ship and someone's going to get hurt.
Right. So, just something I happened to notice. I was looking under. I was trying to find more. I know there's more on it, but
Uh-huh.
for the duty stuff, as far as like how that affects, like I know it affects their notoriety and people that know who we are and all that crap in the galaxy. And I
Mhm.
thought it also talked about rank too, because I'm just kind of curious where we're at rank wise in the scheme of the rebellion.
You're just wanting to get saluted by everybody, aren't you?
Well, we're getting up there. We are kind of badass and all.
You're kind of big deals in the rebellion, right?
Right.
I was
Oh,
kind
respect,
of
it's
mocking
okay.
Finn there with that. I'm a really big deal.
Because I'm sure our Deveronian will want to be, coming at, taking in all that stuff.
Who want to be famous and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you. I was still looking at the dry erase board.
How he can manipulate it.
It's like, so how can I use this?
Right?
Okay, so is there anything special that you guys are thinking you want to attempt, I should say, to requisition?
Yeah, we need
Regarding-
like spacesuits.
Wait, regarding what?
Requisitions for next time.
I don't know.
Yeah, we need spacesuits so we can breathe.
Now, when you're, I have the armored flight suit. And it's a sealed. Does that mean it's a spacesuit as well? Like it can be in vacuum
Yep.
with it?
Yep. If it can be sealed, it can be used for space.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't have an astromech. Do you want to come with me, little guy? Little one? Little droid?
Which one are you talking to?
Rigger.
Me? I want to go. What happens to my ship? Wait.
Oh, you.
sorry,
That's right. You're the ghost pilot.
Sorry.
She's actually
one
a
of our
really
pilots
good
sent
pilot.
Oh, well.
But
then,
see, this is an introduction. He doesn't know that.
Yeah. That's why I'm talking like this. What's up? Huh? What's happening?
Sorry. She's not going to be your frickin' astromech. She is one of our capable pilots. Thank you.
Okay.
And actually,
So
she has higher rank than you.
So
And
the
actually,
Rigger's
she has
one,
higher
I'm
rank than you do,
the
so you
other,
should
and is there
salute
any
her.
more?
Oh no.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said, so the droid, so the astromech is one pilot. I'm the other. Are there any others?
Myself.
Yeah, Quinn, our
Oh, yeah,
flight.
I'm sorry. You said good pilots. My bad.
Oh. Again, Pappy snorts into one of his calf mugs.
Yeah.
And then
Tony,
just goes just like his father.
Rigger over there actually has a higher rank than you do. You should salute it.
Oh no.
As the droid goes, woo woo.
I don't like this.
I don't like it when the organics fight.
I really don't. Not anymore.
True? Is it not true?
It's true, but it doesn't mean that I can't.
As the droid immediately says, it's true, it's true.
You're making the little one uncomfortable. Come on.
Hey, Jim, can I make a leadership check to calm Mr. Oni down? Because I think he's acting a little hot shot for somebody who's new to the gig.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a hot shot.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that. What is our Deveronian's discipline, by the way?
Oh, discipline?
I like it how he says that all disappointedly. Discipline?
What's that?
He has demonstrated an extreme lack of. So I've got. Is it 2? Are we firm on that?
Yeah, it's 2. Agreed.
Okay, so go ahead and make your leadership check to kind of get all official by the books, Iceman to his uppity Tom Cruise Maverick.
Oh,
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, Oni, it's cool and all that you've joined us, and I'm really excited to have you on the team. But we've got a way of doing things, and you're new here. So, our flight commanders rotate because it's cool to have somebody in the pilot seat who, is seeing everything going on to point out, what we're needing to do with the plan in the moment. But just so that you know, I am officially the commander here. So you're going to need to, play it from the back seat for a little while till you learn how we work, okay?
As the droid's making little giggle noises.
that's fine.
No, I'd rather salute the droid, but I'll give you 2. Here you go. And so I salute. You want me to take a back seat? I'll take the back seat.
As Pappy's like, wow. I ain't gonna say shit, but wow. I mean, even he was thinking about standing up and saluting for a second.
Hey, when I got a command, I can command. That's my thing.
Right?
All of us are showing off our strengths in this particular episode.
So it would seem.
Shit's getting seriously serious.
With that being said, you also need a flight physical to make sure you're fit for duty for this squadron.
As, Pappy looks at that and says, yes, the proverbial whip it out and show your medical facility.
So, Ianus, is that okay? Is that okay with you if I go get a medical physical?
I'm sure you'll be all right. Quinn can check you out to make sure you're okay. Welcome to the team. And I give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Just want to make sure it's okay with you.
Just glare at him.
I'll smile and bat my eyes like I'm super innocent.
So much shade.
I just put on my ARC Trooper helmet and walk out.
That's the proverbial Mandalorian, mic drop. Helmet on, turn off the audio receptor, walk away like a boss. Bonus points if there's an explosion.
Hey,
Wasn't the mic he dropped.
I'll chat with you later. I gotta go polish my gun.
I'll be in my bone.
Wow.
Was that a metaphor for something, or?
Possibly. Oh, yeah. Gotta make sure we check the Deveronian and keep them in their place.
Hey, when it's a
You're
Mandalorian,
so eager to get me out of my clothes.
Oh my goodness.
Bow chicka wow wow. I mean,
I don't. You seem to be pushing this physical thing real hard.
you are the new guy in the ship. It is a good thing to establish early on of what kind of dating material you are.
You've been down on a planet, who knows what diseases you might have gotten doing the things that you do.
The things you have to do as an undercover rebel agent.
Right?
You Devorians already have a reputation.
They're not just horny. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Wah, wah, wah.
Like I said, squadron flight surgeon, got to make sure everybody's fit for and ready to fly. Just because you've been running around like a wild man, nobody checking on you.
All right. So do your examination. You can. I can tell you my stories, and you can live vicariously some other time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is each? Because you each get a requisition that you can attempt. Who's going to requisition what? And of course, the follow-up question is, who's the negotiator for those requisitions?
I should probably do the negotiating.
Probably.
The question, though, what are we looking at in terms of what we can potentially requisition?
Well, basically, it's going to come down to the rarity of the item. You're going to roll a negotiation based on its rarity to see how commonly available it is. So that kind of... It might be lucky. You could ask for something random off the wall, and if you roll well, yes, you happen to have one available.
So, are modifications possibly on the table here?
Oh, look at you being all complicated. I will say yes, but you're gonna have to tell me what the rarity of that modification is. So prepare to look it up to tell me if you're looking for that.
Yep, I got Ogdudes right here.
Okay, good. That was the hint I was throwing out there because I don't have Ogdudes on this laptop, so it's on my desktop.
Yeah. So question. So this mission, I'm assuming, is not going to be just a flyby. It's going to be a...
You need to scout out and secure.
So we have to land and do hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, the idea is that you're supposed to go there, check the place out, make sure it's not an Imperial trap or bounty hunters or a pirate base. Clear it out, then give Pappy the signal that it's cool to bring the mothership down to dock and start modifications.
Okay, so it's going to be more of a ground base.
Yep.
All right.
I could use an astromech.
Wow.
I mean,
Obviously, his skills are lacking, and he needs backup. Get him an astromech.
I mean, he could just fly with us, right?
Well, my thought on the next mission, if that's what we're doing, we might take the whatchamacallit?
The flying brick.
Yeah.
The bigger ship.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So then he would have 2 astromechs to choose from, right?
What do you mean?
He wouldn't need an astromech. We probably just... I imagine if we take the big ship, we just have Quinn and Riggs fly it.
So you're thinking of taking your transport instead of your...
The astromech, it's... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't get Sparky, man.
No.
That's fine. I just was saying, like, I don't, like, there's certain onboard systems that I could use while flying that I can't do 2 things at once.
What? Not the way you're presenting yourself, but okay.
I haven't said anything untrue.
So what requisition is Oni putting on the paperwork?
I'll ask for an astromech to pop in my astromech port from my X-wing.
Okay.
Oh, so like if there happens to be an extra astromech somewhere?
There just might be an extra astromech. Yeah, he's not asking for you. He's asking for like Sparky, like Quinn has Sparky.
Yeah, like a basic one that hasn't fully developed a personality, though. Sparky's pretty damn close.
He's very close.
So, the astromech droid is rarity 3. Let's see if you can have access to a one-time astromech. Like how I throw it out there. So, who's going to be doing the negotiation there? Is that going to be...
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So, I've got your difficulty in for getting him an astromech. Go ahead and roll your negotiation. Oh, and you're making sure to get him an astromech, apparently.
He wants to get me an astromech.
Okay. Wow.
Ooh, nice.
So what is that advantage going to be used for? You could totally use it for your next roll if you wanted to get an upgrade.
Yep.
Okay, so it's being used for an upgrade, not making sure it's a top of the line super cool astromech. Okay, so next game you will have access to an astromech. It's basically your basic model. Go ahead and stick it on your companion page.
Sure.
It may not be available for next time, or it may get shot up, but you have access to one for now, because they're like, sure, you're going on a scavenger mission, an extra astromech to protect your ship, or whatnot.
So yeah, this is mission specific, like kit.
Yep. Yeah, so this is going to be a kit for next mission only.
Okay.
All right. So the advantage went to my next roll, right?
The Triumph for an
Oh,
upgrade.
the Triumph. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so who's wanting the next thing?
I need a spacesuit.
Real quick, if I could do my negotiation, what I wanted to try and get was a biofeedback system for my my Archer armor.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so what is the rarity on that?
I believe it is 5.
Ooh.
Double
Okay.
check.
Can they put that in for a one-time use?
It is, yes, it is rarity 5, hard points required 2, price 3,300.
Okay, so if you want it permanently, I'm looking for at least 2 advantages on top of your success, or like a shitload of successes. I do have your upgrade in there and your difficulty set. Oh, and you're wanting a second upgrade. He's wanting to keep this sucker.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Alrighty.
Roll big. You don't want a shoddy one that only lasts you one mission.
Yep.
Okay, so I will give it to you since you got 3 successes.
Okay. Awesome.
So you basically negotiated why this would be important to have in your suit since you are a ground specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how he made sure to use all those upgrades for himself, and to heck with you guys. So who's asking for something
Astromech.
next?
I'm a team player.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
If nobody speaks up, I'll say spacesuits is the next thing.
Well, that's fine. I don't need one, but yeah, because I got a suit.
I've got my own.
So I've got the difficulty set for spacesuits for everyone if you want one. If you're taking the big ship, you can always throw extra ones on board. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I don't need one, right?
You're a droid. You don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
A droid spacesuit, because it's really just a big bubble.
It's for cuteness, that's all.
So go ahead and make your roll for spacesuits. Okay, so you're pissing somebody off about spacesuits because they're just like, you guys got hard armor, I saw you guys. But yes, we'll give you some emergency spacesuits.
They want you to stop
Is there
asking.
anything else that anyone wants to ask for?
I'm looking, man. I'm looking.
I can't think of anything.
You can always ask for emergency patches. Those are good for you and for ships.
I carry 4, so.
Well, I was talking to the droid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you said emergency patches can be used on ships?
Yeah,
Like
the emergency repair patches. Yep.
How much do they do to hulls?
Not particularly a lot, but they can be used in a pinch.
Oh, huh.
It doesn't
Oh.
actually repair ships, but it supposedly can be used on robots and equipment.
Oh, okay, cool. Good to know.
As all of a sudden another fighter goes flying by.
Right.
That's these people that drag race up and down Albernon.
Oh, always. Always.
It's ridiculous at all hours of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know how you sleep with that kind of noise going by. Hopefully your bedroom's not on that side.
Oh no, it totally is. The window is on the street.
Ah.
Oh,
Geez.
that
But
sucks.
my wife could sleep through an explosion. It's like she's just
Do you feel lucky? I could use a slicer gear.
You don't have a base slicing gear?
What?
the
You don't have
slicer
base
doesn't have
slicing gear?
slicing gear.
I have a data breaker, but not actual slicing gear.
Oh my god.
I think your data breaker
It's
works with
expensive.
slicing gear, doesn't it?
Yeah, the data breaker is an upgraded version, but maybe he wants a spare.
Oh, okay. No. I didn't realize the data breaker was the same thing.
Well, yours is the +1 version. It's an upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, you can always go for a backup. You never know if you need to hack something.
Actually, I'd rather have a security sweeper.
And what is the rarity on that?
Oops, 6. Like I said, we can wait.
Oh,
Oh.
no, it's on your
Oh.
requisition form. Unless you want to get something else.
Ready for me to roll?
Yep. Wow.
Oh,
Nice.
And the dice roll says, sure, we got one laying around in cargo.
amazing.
I'm very good at talking.
This is the equivalent of, since you don't get cash to buy shit, this is how you get shit.
Right?
I'm very good at talking and getting shot at.
Yes.
My two primary specialties.
I'm just looking through stuff. I don't see anything particular that pops to my head to get, but yeah, I can't think of anything that we don't already have. So
There's one thing I was thinking about doing just privately. Let me see here. No, that's not it. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Okay, here we go. I want to privately try to requisition a case of Corellian whiskey as a gift to the team.
Oh, so you're going to negotiate that?
I'm gonna go privately and try to negotiate that.
Okay, so what's the rarity of that? That's a
But-
5, right?
It's a 2, actually.
It's a 2. Oh, that's even better. Okay, so
Uh,
go ahead and make your negotiation roll as you're trying to see who on the ship has booze.
Now, instead of making negotiation, could I use deception and I say, "Oh yeah, by the way, the commander said to use his, I don't know, like he told me to get this for him. I just, try to like drop his Janus. How do you pronounce it?
Enos.
Enos?
Enos?
It's
Okay, I'll
Giannis.
drop
It's supposed to be
Giannis.
pronounced. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Giannis. I'm gonna drop Giannis's name and be like, yeah, Giannis, you made it very clear that this was very important for the mission coming up, and da da da.
So for this type of situation, it's either negotiation or streetwise.
Oh, okay, I'll do streetwise.
Because it's basically to see if it's available. I mean, you could totally try to do
Oh,
a
okay.
deception afterwards, but this is just to find the availability. So the streetwise
Okay.
aspect would be if you're finding out who on the ship has hooch. Negotiation
Okay.
would be the business aspect of I need to procure a flat of liquor.
Okay, then I would like to see if there is any available.
Deception can totally be used to trick someone out of it later, but you need to find out if it's
There you-
available and who you need to talk to.
Okay, I'll do that first then. I'd like to try to like con a gift for the team.
On a small ship. As
Nope,
pretty much
not.
you're wanting name brand booze, and they're totally like, well, We've got some alcohol
Wow.
we're making in the back in the engine room. I wouldn't call it good or safe or pleasant. But it can also be used to jumpstart a fighter if you need to.
Never mind. If you find any, let me know. Or if you just find some labels, then let me know.
They're like, unfortunately, booze is a valuable commodity on the ship.
Okay,
Why?
well,
Because Pappy doesn't
that's right.
mind people
Alright.
drinking on duty.
Well.
He doesn't
50,
mind
50,
pilots
50.
being liquored up as long as they come back.
Yeah, I just don't see anything that would be critical for us at the moment. So, all right, I'm good.
Okay, so you have your commander, your ground commander there, do all the talking to get the requisitions that you guys got. Make sure you put them on your character sheets. Don't have them on sheets; they don't exist. Okay, and you guys, since you successfully brought him back and a bunch of amazing rolls, made so much combat not happen, which is good because it was a rescue and retrieve mission, not an actual blow shit up mission. You guys get 15 experience points plus 5. So 20.
Awesome.
Oh,
And regarding duty, I have a recruiting duty. Would I get anything here?
I will definitely give you 5 duty for recruiting. And if anyone has acquisitions,
I also have acquisition.
you also get 5 for that as well. Because the X-Wing that's been acquired is now part of your group gear. So
Awesome.
you just need to tase Oni to take it from him.
Well, and I got
I'm
rescue and
I'm
recovery
also
/
resource
evac, right?
acquisition.
Oh, yeah, if you have rescue and recovery, that counts as well. Sorry, I missed Evan. What was your question?
Oh, mine is resource acquisition. So
Yep.
since I am the resource, I get 5.
Yeah, well, since your X-wing was safely extricated, yes, you get 5.
You acquisitioned yourself.
I allowed myself to be acquired.
It's a rough
So
job,
funny.
but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
James,
Yeah, like
Huh?
I said,
since I rewrote the report on the X-Wings, does that count as legend crafting?
That no, not legend crafting, because you're supposed to be establishing quotes, covers for yourself. But
Okay.
don't you have an intelligence one?
Wet work.
Oh no, yeah, that wouldn't be either one of those two.
Yeah.
You're not going to off me, are you?
Sometimes you got to.
Depends on how uppity you get.
No. Keep that in mind.
And now, of
So
course,
you said 20 total?
20 total. Yep.
That's an intriguing one.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's already talent shopping.
No, sound dampener.
Oh, a silencer?
Device. Well, no, yeah, it's a sound dampener, so it basically spherical dampening field extends to short range around the device and adds 2 blocks to checks to detect noise coming out of this area. Like, be more quiet sneaking through the ship.
A suppressor is nice on your weapon.
Well, no, it's not a weapon. It's a
Sound dampener in general.
It's a dampener in general within the sphere of effect. So.
Make sneaky.
Yeah, just a thought, but there shouldn't be a whole lot live on a derelict ship, theoretically.
You'd hope. I mean, whatever spacer sold you guys the information or logged it in some old lost catalog, it's probably totally safe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Because it always is.
Totally believe that.
I expect it to be nothing but safe.
Yeah. So. Cool. So, duty 20 for experience, rock on. Now to figure out which side to spin that on. Really tough when you have 2 specializations.
It comes down to which one gets the love and which time.
Quick question, Evan. What career specialization are you?
Hotshot pilot.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah, it was obvious, wasn't it?
It's almost like he plays like a Poe Dameron, you know.
Right?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out. I'm thinking of saving my XP to purchase another career tree because I'm thinking of maybe going Commodore to help with the big ship.
Oh,
Trying to take over command, huh?
trying to take Pappy's job.
Right? Pappy's not a Commodore, right?
He'll be like, "Okay, I need you to wet work Pappy so I can take command."
Intrigue.
I was talking about our 929.
No. It's easier to steal a bigger ship, and we'll just call you a captain.
Become our own crew.
And then you walk
We'll
up
do
and
our
say,
own crew.
"I'm the captain now."
I am the captain now.
Well, no, Pappy can still control his ship, and then we become our own entity.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Or like the old pirate crews, you know, he would become a commodore and you would become the captain. As you slowly upgrade the size of your fleet, you actually become your own fleet.
Yeah.
Like if you've watched Rebels, how you see the different factions have their own fleets.
Right.
The Rebel Fleet. We are the Rebel Fleet.
It's like, wait a minute. Every rich person who can afford more than 3 ships considers themselves a rebel general.
Anybody who has more than 3 ships at this point and is willing to call themselves a rebel can be a rebel general.
Right?
Yep. I mean, who knew? You just need a cheap YT 1300 and you're general, General Solo.
Right?
It's like, hot shit, did you blow up Vader? No, I just ran into him with my big ass ship.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
They just give them
Interesting.
the rank so they run suicide missions.
And another question I have for you is, what ships are you guys planning on taking?
So, I'm kind of thinking for what we're doing, it might be a little better to take the single ship.
Take your freighter?
No, the armored, the YV
Oh,
929.
yeah, the one you just inherited.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's got enough armament that we can still put up a fight and still have space to do other stuff with, or supplies, or whatever acquisition we might find.
Mm-hmm. In case you gotta just cut and run.
Yeah.
You know, the
This
ship
is-
that totally reminds me of the one from Aliens. It's got that
Yeah.
attack craft profile.
Yeah, because it's got a cumbrance of 80, so if, there's some stuff we want to take in acquisition, we got some storage space
Mm-hmm.
while we're searching the ship and securing it. Might have to clear some stuff out and put it on the ship so it's out of the way. But it still has a respectable fighting capability.
Okay.
When you guys take that one out, do you go with a fighter escort, or you just take that one ship?
We haven't flown this ship yet. Actually,
It's their
so
It's their first time getting on board and breaking the plastic
Oh.
seals on everything.
we had a much smaller ship. My thought is the one ship, because we don't know what kind of docking capabilities there are for multiple ships. It is Jedi, so who knows? But this ship does have a ship complement of 1 captain, 1 pilot, 1 co-pilot, and 2 gunners.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 2 sets of rock missiles, and like 2 sets of.
It's got blasters facing the front. It's got ion cannons facing the front. It's got missiles facing the front, and it's got missiles facing the back.
Yeah, it's got triple light blaster cannons, which are forward, and then it's got turret-mounted twin light ion cannon, which is port and starboard, and then it's got forward-mounted twin concussion missile launchers, and forward and aft-mounted. So it's got a pretty heavy load.
Does it, can you dock things to it?
Yeah, it has a couple spaces, actually.
It has airlocks, but not like dock and go to hyperspace. It doesn't have that feature. That's actually a
Okay,
modification.
So you could just move between the two, but you couldn't, like, attach it and jump to hyperspace. Got it.
Yeah. There's actually a vehicle mod that lets you do that. It also lets you board your craft inside the ship. Basically, you have, like, in the floor, your cockpit opens up and you jump in. But you wouldn't be able to dock to this and jump to hyperspace.
Okay, fair enough. Just curious.
Okay. Once in a while, we leave our personal, pride behind and go in a joint ship to do what we got to do.
Alright, I just like to play with my own toys sometimes, but I'll play with yours.
Sadly for Rigger, the ship's only got 1 hard point. It's because it's got so much shit already strapped onto it. I mean, it's got a small army's worth of weapons.
It's
Rigger can add more hard points to the ship.
Good.
Only
Good
if she was to
reverse
declare that
engineer.
as her baby ship, but she wouldn't want to be, doing that when her Y-wing is her baby.
No.
No, but she can do a reverse engineer probably on it to add a hard point.
Mhm.
She'd have to, like, take it apart and put it back together.
That would be some pretty heroic, 6 months later, she's finally got it put back together with her small army of Jawas that she occasionally has to shock to keep working properly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Does it have it? Yeah, reverse engineering. So adds a hard point.
Yeah, but by definition, that means taking it apart and putting it back together.
Not necessarily completely apart, but I mean it's a ship.
Mostly.
But
I guess
But
it's
yeah.
fine if I just roll around and not have a place to hunker down, I guess.
yeah, we'll figure out a hard or something to add for that one hard point at some point. But right now it's the base, which it's 4 armor with a hull trauma of 23, system strain of 15.
Yeah, it's
silhouette
an
four.
armored breaching craft. I mean, this thing is meant for landing in the middle of a battlefield, blasting the shit out of stuff, dropping off and getting back on. It is meant for taking a fight.
Yeah, no, I recommended this ship for a reason. It's a really good ship.
Yeah. I mean, -1 handling, but
Yep.
we'll figure out who flies.
I mean, the fact that the thing is sporting 20 missiles on board.
Is that what it comes out to?
Yeah, 2 launchers, 10 rounds each.
More if you count the Mandalorian that we can strap with a spacesuit on top with a missile tube.
Oh, good. Oh, my God.
Magnet boots.
So
shit.
many things
Yeah, it
just
is.
went wrong in my
It is
I mean-
limited ammo 10. Holy cow.
I mean, the ship literally is described as flying brick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is -1 handling, but 2 forward shields and 1 reverse.
Yeah. And then, like I said, the ion cannon, forward, port, and starboard. So,
Hmm.
got all of its bases covered.
Yep, it's got really good sensors on it. Not a huge amount of cargo or people, but it can keep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 people alive for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense versus doing individual ships. Like I said. So that would be my recommendation.
I mean,
Well,
you can
Chappie hasn't changed anyone else being commander of the day, so
Right?
not until next session.
Hell, I mean, if one of our pilots wanted to sacrifice their little stunt fighter to fly this thing, we could legit take this thing into a dogfight. Like, the amount of armament this thing has annihilates everything.
Yeah, it's meant to slug into a fight and then extract.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think
that's cool.
it's just who wants to play fighter, who wants to play gunner. I mean,
Yep.
so
Like, if you were ever going to want to play Dark Matter, the TV show, as a crew in Star Wars, this would be the ship that emulates their ship.
Mm.
It's got a bit of freighter, but it's mostly armor and weapons.
Yep. So
And
just to assess what's our piloting skills out there. I'm 3 yellow.
who's
Mine
the
is
best
black.
pilot?
Who's the best?
I think best setup's probably Quinn pilot with Riggs co-pilot.
I'm
And then-
3 yellow.
I'm 3 yellow, 1 green, and minus a black.
Yeah, I have 3 yellow and 3 blue.
No, rigger's better. 3 yellow, 3 blues, probably better than 3 yellow, 1 green, and a minus black.
Depends what you're
And I'm-
flying into. I mean, think
Yeah.
of the crap around this ship. That would be black dice thrown out there. So maybe removing a black dice is better.
Yeah.
See how I
Black
complicate
dice or more
things?
dice. I know.
It's always good
Some
to have
minus 2.
different. It's always good to have different dice
But
pools. So
It's a pilot, co-pilot, so we can combo that. So I would say I would co-pilot with 2 minus 2 black, and then I think it would be only giving him the pilot seat
Mm-hmm.
with 3 and a green. Make him feel important.
Oh, so nice to feel important.
So, but I'm also 2 gunners, so
Let's see, I'm
2
3 yellow, 1
yellow.
green as a gunner, too.
3 yellow. Wow.
3 yellow,
Yeah,
1
3
green.
yellow. Oh, okay. Wow.
So I can
Yeah, I'm
use-
only 2 and 1 green. What's yours, Rigger? Gunnery?
I never look at it, so I don't know where I'm going. Skills.
It's
Oh
it's
my
on
God.
your skills.
Yes, I'm looking. Oh, there we are. 3 yellow.
Okay.
I'm 2 yellow and a green for gunnery.
All right. So yeah.
I'm
so
2
it sounds
yellow and
like
a green for gunnery as well.
3 yellow and a green.
2 yellow and a green.
Oh, 2 yellow, green. So, I guess it would be
And my
only
And my piloting's actually 2 yellow and a green as well, but that's one of the worst in the group, so.
yeah.
We know
So
you can
it's
at least fly a ship. That's
But
good.
Yeah.
I can fly a ship.
Aw.
So I would say only pilot. I'll co-pilot. Rigger. Anna says gunners.
So the important thing I'm hearing is that if a xenomorph shows up and murders the pilot, you're not all screwed because you can all fly. Oh wait,
Right.
we
Yeah.
already knew that.
Except for me.
Okay, well,
It's okay. You're the first one the xenomorph would eat.
Right.
Is
So
there a computer's communication station?
Well, we'll put you as the captain, which will handle comms and everything else. So
Wee. Captain, there's a communication coming in. Domino's Pizza is letting you know that there's a sale this weekend.
Well, actually, since Kay has the same gunnery as I do, and I have all the leadership skill, we could swap that.
that's fine. Yeah, since that's the same, yeah. Put you in the. So we'll put you as the captain, though you don't know really squat about space combat, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, even if I can't take a
but you
gunnery
leave-
action, I can still use my fire discipline as an action. So
That's
I can
true.
do that to you guys every round.
So that'll be our configuration.
And we'll leave Sparky? Is that what we're hearing?
Well, Sparky will be on the ship, but
He'll
fill
just
in
be
where-
hanging out as backdressing.
Figure
Sparky-
out
He can repair things as we get shot
right.
up.
Yeah, Sparky will be in the back in some hole with sparks flying out of it, and we won't be sure whether it's from the ships or the droid.
'Cause I know he can shoot. I just don't know who he would shoot.
Right. No, we don't want them. We don't want them on the guns if we don't have to.
Right. Okay.
He can shoot, but
Don't-
we've seen how well he shoots.
Don't let Sparky hear you saying that.
No, of course not.
Nope. Nope.
So that, yeah, I would say that would be our configuration. So going into it, we'll give the new kid, show off his piloting skills.
You just have a way with people, don't you?
I like it how you just keep mocking him with that.
Well, I mean, he came in
It's
all
not
cocky.
mockery to tell me how great I am. Come on.
I'm a duck. I got xenology, so I know Deveronians. I know how they play. Gotta feed your little shit.
Feed that little ego.
Hey, what do you call little?
Exactly.
He's like, my horns
why
are
we-
3 times bigger than the average Deveronian.
Right. That's why I gotta kind of keep it on check. Till we get to know you a little better, then we'll be okay. I mean, come on. You're joining a tight knit squad here, so there's gonna be a little resistance.
Come on. Let me show you the finer nuances of a Sabacc game.
As he takes it to the gambling.
Yeah. Sounds like sounds like them.
Uh-oh. Is our Sullustan getting, speciest against the Deveronians?
I do know my my races. Got to know the psychology and physiology of my patients.
What do you mean by
Like that meme I sent you there. You're better off going to a vet than a doctor in space.
Right? So everything sound good then? So we're
It
all
definitely
just up
sounds like
for
a
the
plan.
mission?
I'm on board.
Yeah, I did have one thing that I wanted to propose. This wouldn't be for next mission since we're only taking the big ship, but this would be a potential thing to think about for the future. Next time we have like a space mission,
Mhm.
if since Kay can pilot, if we wanted to, we could also have Kay fly the flying brick, and we could take that in with us. I could help gun.
Yeah, if needed. I mean, depends on if it's we can always consider that. It just depends on what we're fighting and if it's a quick in and out or a little slower rolling because it's not fast.
Yeah, not super fast. It has a hyperdrive. It can get in and get out.
Well, it's not the hyperdrive. It's how fast you can fly, like at 3 compared to 4 and 5. So, and it flies like a brick. It's a -1 handling.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what we're fighting, but yeah, definitely there's those options. So, but I mean, the crew size recommended for it is like literally a pilot, co-pilot, 2 gunners, because that's the thing. As a gunner, there's 2. If you look at the format of it,
Yeah, I
there's
know.
2 gunner stations up front. So I'm not sure how that breaks out. Like 1 missile, 1 gun, or like 1 handles the guns, 1
Well-
handles missiles, or what. But
I'm pretty sure it's reconfigurable Because I think it's all through the computer.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's not turrets. It's your
Yeah.
you're actually at gunner stations.
Yeah, so that can be swapped around, kind of like how for the Y-wings you can like lock the turrets in forward
Right.
position and the pilots can
Yep,
fire
yep.
them.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just remember
So-
that with the missile launchers, there's 2 forward and 1 rear, and they do have the linked feature. So the linked is for the 2 forward, and then you have 1
Right.
rear mounted.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, if you look at the schematic on it, it was like they're actual gunner, like 2 gunner stations
Yeah.
Yeah.
up near the cockpit. So you're shooting by wire.
Kind of Star Trek style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, I have the schematic for the ship memorized. Really like that ship.
He's ready for being boarded again, you know. He's like, you're not going to board this ship.
Right. Right.
We've
So,
been boarded
but no,
too many times.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely an option. We'll see. I mean, worst case, if it's a mission where it looks like that config would work, then it's a matter of looking at maybe getting some flunkies to handle some of the extra slots.
Oh yeah, we can also work on recruiting some more people to the squad. Speaking of which, I should probably send some messages to my Imperial Quartermaster friend and see how he's doing.
Send some last minute love notes before you guys leave.
Right? Before we find our new place. And the way you made the text sound, or speaking of the Facebook little message, it made it sound like we had pilots. Yeah, you had an S on there, so just one then.
Yep, just 1 pilot.
Oh, okay. Pilot, not pilots. Okay. I was like, oh, we got 2 more coming at least. Thanks. But the Deveronian probably thinks he's equivalent to 2, so I get it.
You said it, not me.
I mean, I can understand that, so I get it now. But I was hoping maybe I had recruited 2 people with the group.
Nope. So you're now up to 5.
Are we 5?
I think you're 5, aren't you 5?
Yeah,
Are
it's
we
fine.
5? I don't know. Am I counting it? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
6
guess we are.
including me, so.
Yeah, okay. I guess we are. For some reason I was thinking we had 1 more spot still. But guess not.
Well, if we had an extra Y wing, we would have another slot left, but no.
Yeah, no. For some reason I was thinking even before we lost our member, we were 1 short for some reason.
Oh.
I don't know why, but never mind.
It still
Alright.
hurts losing your wing commander, that's all.
I know. Betrayal.
Betrayal in work schedules, you know. Work, the worst aggro ever.
Right?
Especially in an RPG.
Cool.
And speaking of
Alright.
which, I'm heading off because I got a game at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then our Goblin game tomorrow night.
Yay!
Tomorrow night, huh? That one I might be late to, because I got
Oh.
Marine Corps birthday planning.
Oh no, Fearless Leader is going to be late.
Okay, well, just let us know. We can always start a little bit later, too, if that helps.
Yeah, I
Okay,
should be
wait.
good, but
Is it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
It's normally 9 o'clock.
Okay.
yeah. I should be good, but just in case. I mean, it's like planning the Marine Corps birthday and,
Ah.
little beer. It's at the brewery, so, little free beers involved, so
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. One of the benefits of helping plan the Marine Corps ball, you get some free,
Get
drinks
some
while
samples.
we plan. Yeah, so, but should be good for timing. But I sadly won't make the 2 o'clock because I got my regular game.
Regular Sunday game.
Yeah.
I know.
So-
I gotta throw a message out there tonight and see how many people we do have for the 2:00 game.
Yeah.
Because I know
I
at
voted,
least
but
3 of the people who voted then came back with, I'm not available now that Sunday. Like, no.
yeah. Well, I voted because you're like, oh, it may carry over and stuff, and so I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I'll vote as a Patreon member. So
Yay.
Jim, can we Facebook chat about something else for a couple minutes?
Sure.
uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to bed. I'm actually going to start working on creating a lobby for tomorrow's game.
Ah, okay.
When in doubt, always post like things are going to happen.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm
And
out of
if they're
here.
not,
All right. Bye.
Later.
All right.
Good
Bye-bye.
to meet
Night all.
everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Good
letting
job.
us come and join you.
and of
Yes,
course we're
good to
also
have you.
planning 13 games of Halloween. I got to throw a post out there for just
Oh
13
my God.
horror one-shots for next month because
Holy cow.
That's a
lot.
lot.
Well,
'Cause
that's
I'm-
got to be a masquerade then. At least one of them.
at least one of them, yeah.
That's great. What?
If you're doing
Masquerade,
Halloween, Vampire the Masquerade's got to be at least one of them during Halloween.
Has to be. Has to be.
There's also a really cool one-sheet RPG that's the concept is you take any horror movie and you make this game. Every player gets the player sheet, which is a one-page sheet, but when they die, you flip it over and they become one of the monsters.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So
That
there's
is
the
cool.
rules where they screw over the players in game and become the monster too. The idea is that you can take any horror movie as the setting for this with the character sheets and have them play as players, and when they get knocked off, they become part of the problem.
Right.
That sounds great
Nice.
for Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's basically exactly for every one of the Cabin in the Woods or all of the gory slasher. You were lost in the woods.
Yeah.
Crystal
Nice.
Lake could be the setting. It's tons of
Yeah.
those.
Nice. Kind of sounds like Battlestar Galactica, the board game, which
Yeah, I still
Where-
think that game stole a lot from them with the concept there of the how to screw over your players.
yeah, because I don't know if you've not seen Battlestar Galactica, the board game. It's amazing, especially Chris or the Forrester's added modifications. But basically, your Battlestar Galactica crew and like at least 2 people are, depending on the number playing,
Mm-hmm.
are Cylons, skin bags.
Oh, okay.
And so you're trying to jump the ship, constantly moving forward, trying to get to Earth, but 2 of the crew, and it's funny because you draw cards at the beginning, you may only have 1 Cylon, but at round, once you hit 4 jumps, then you draw a second set of cards. So might have only had 1 Cylon trying to secretly counter things you're doing to jump.
But they've
But
been
then by-
replaced.
But by 4, one of them realizes they're also the Cylon, and then you're trying to figure out who it is. But if you do figure them out, you eject them, then they go down a Cylon track where they have commands from the mothership trying to counter shit you're doing. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a awesome freaking board game. It's amazing.
It does take a while to play. Is the only drawback.
We've done it on weeknight, and
Mm-hmm.
if you got somebody kind of facilitating and knows it, it can go 2-3 hours. You can do it with 7 players
Mm-hmm.
if people are on it. But it's
But it's
new
fun.
group. No, it's amazing. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're always like, okay, who's the Cylon? Who's trying to screw us? Well, he just helped us, so he's not the Cylon, or is he trying to help us so he doesn't look like the Cylon?
Mm-hmm. It's like if you've ever played the Among Us game. It's that
It's very
same
much.
paranoia that grows, except the fact that, like you said, the Cylons can multiply post in the game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it sounds like fun.
Oh, it's amazing board game. Yeah. So, anywho, all right, guys.
All right, have a good night,
Alright, y'all.
guys.
Have a good night. Thanks, you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Good
Have a good
night.
night. Bye.
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 Later, guys.